Business Access TV welcomes you to our coverage of the Tech Beach Retreat Regional Roadshow Mixer right here at Regis in New Kingston under the theme, The Future of Tech in the Caribbean. I'm your host, Amita Pasadbe. Please stay tuned for highlights.
Welcome, one and all. Firstly, apologies. I was planning to wear my tux today, but we were really working up to the last minute before you came to get this center up and running. There's still a few minor touches for us to put on, but I hope you like what you see. So you are here at Regis. We are the world's largest provider of workplace solutions, ranging from products for if you work from home and you just want a more professional image for your business, if you need to pop in to use a meeting room, or for our core products, which are office space. Fully furnished, or bells and whistles included, from your telecoms, IT, even down to your gourmet coffee or during the day. So if you want to have a look to see what we have to offer, please grab one of the Regis team, and we'll be happy to show you around. We also have some goodie bags for you to take away when you leave. And in them, you would have a free lounge pass. So we want you to come and test out our product. If you want to leave your business cards, we will be also doing a prize draw for a free meeting room for a day. And also, we're running a promotion. So anyone that signs up for office space before the end of November, signs up for at least 6 months, we will give you 3 additional months free of charge. So that's a 33% discount. So looking forward to seeing all of those opportunities and those business cards flying in. So thank you very much for popping down, and please grab one of the team if you want to have a look around.
You know, I did a self-guided tour by myself around the space earlier this evening. And, you know, I am shocked at how many offices are in here. It is insane. So when you imagine all of these offices being filled with entrepreneurs and businesses all doing work and the kind of energy that can happen in this space, you really know that we're creating something special here. So thank you again, Darren. And now, Kirk, no wine for you, because I'm going to introduce you right now, the man of the evening, who is going to moderate our panel and introduce our panelists, Kirk Hamilton.
Some people in the room may be asking, what is Tech Beach? I always am fascinated but also thankful when people are willing to come out and hear about something that they have not much a clue of. So that's appreciated. Tech Beach is a platform designed to really set firm an ecosystem in the Caribbean around technology and innovation. Most of us in this room are savvy individuals within the corporate world or business world, or we're entrepreneurs, and we all yearn for a different Jamaica, a different Caribbean. A Caribbean that is forward-thinking, a Caribbean that is faster-paced, a Caribbean that ideas can thrive in, and so someone can come up with something and turn it into even more. And as a 32-year-old individual, I always say to people that the challenge I've faced is, for my 3 decades on Earth, the Jamaica I know, as wonderful as it is, has never seen economic growth in any meaningful way. And I've never witnessed transformation. We're now starting to see a change on the island, and we're very excited about it. But what we feel needs to happen is there needs to be greater levels of opportunity for collaboration. There needs to be obviously greater levels of access to capital. But a lot of times we talk about these things without understanding the fundamentals of how these elements interact and how these things come together and really help to create a true economy, right? There's a conversation nowadays in Jamaica increasingly about inclusive growth. You'll hear that term over and over and over. I'll share with you, as we step into this panel discussion and as I give you a little insight into Tech Beach, I usually say to people that a lot of these terminologies come into play in Jamaica and the wider Caribbean 5 or 10 years too late. No different than when we talk about technological innovations and such like that. And so if you think about what inclusivity really means, ultimately we're starting a conversation that says outside the walls of this gathering, there are people who should be involved in our economy who for some reason, for just about all of our entire lives, have been left out of the conversation. And it is suddenly happening that our private sector is acknowledging the reality that the more people who can buy my product in a sustainable manner, the better off I am, right? Personally, I don't think it's rocket science, but it is a shift and a trend that has happened in the world that has actually led to the creation of a lot of the platforms that we aspire to and want to see be successful in the region. So when you think about platforms like Airbnb and Uber and the conveniences that these things deliver to us, ultimately they're built on the pillar of inclusive growth, because what they're saying is we can democratize an industry, bring more people into it by utilizing technology to bring down the costs.
M&A Strategy and Advisory. Are you planning for a merger or acquisition? M&A transaction. The decision to embark upon an M&A transaction is not one to be taken lightly. Whether pursuing a merger or acquisition or considering a disposal or divestiture, the complexities of an M&A transaction require careful planning and execution. Clients can depend on our specialist teams to lead or support transactions requiring specific expertise on issues including business modeling, fast-track M&A, economic consulting, and government public sector advice. With deep experience, knowledge, and tools, Dodge & Global can meet stakeholder targets and expectations. Dodge & Global consulting teams can help you make smarter, more effective decisions. Let's have a conversation. Contact us at email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
My name is Herbert Chung, Executive Chairman, Co-Founder, Honeybone 1982 Limited. You're watching Business Access TV. Serious about business.
The theme of tonight was, or is, the future of technology in the Caribbean. And I'll just go ahead and try to shape the conversation, but ultimately, you know, within Tech Beach, we deal with a lot of emerging technologies that seemingly are shifting the conversation and changing the landscape around the world. And what we really want to look at is a bit where we're coming from. And I'll just set the tone by saying I think we've come a long way despite the way that we have to go.
I recently started my own tech company, Innovate 10X. I do believe it's a world of digital opportunities right now. I've actually left my safety of my 9-to-5 job. I had a very senior position at JMMB, and I think it was about time for me to look and see where I could actually, you know, see where I could make use of these opportunities. And the way I see it now, especially in the Caribbean, and I'll include the Latin American market. You're talking about 40 million people, right? And most of the solutions, digital solutions worldwide, if people buy them and try to implement them, they typically just don't work. Because what works in another country, their unique situation, is different from what exists in the Caribbean. And therefore, I see where there are opportunities for us in the Caribbean to learn from what's going on elsewhere in the world, to partner with those that have actually gone before us and bring those solutions to the region.
Being within the ICD group, which you can explain to folks the makeup of the ICD group, but being within an organization like that that has been around for a long time, you're charged with leading transformation there, which includes a digital focus. I guess at an enterprise level, what do you see happening, especially within an enterprise level organization that has been around?
Right. Okay, so thank you. Hi, everybody. Hi. Okay, everybody's plugged in. Great. So I think the perspective that I bring is actually a bit more unique than just being inside of ICD Group, because most of my working career has been away. And so I've been with ICD for the last 5 years, really charged with, as Kirk has said, transformation. And it started out as digital, but then what we had to create inside is what I think most companies here in Jamaica are missing the mark on, and that is recognizing that in order for digital transformation to be successful, there's a significant amount of people and cultural transformation that has to take place first. And why I say that I think that a lot of corporations are missing that is because outside of even digital transformation, I don't find that in Jamaica there is a significant amount of investment in people and culture, at least not when compared to other countries that I've worked in. And what happens is they tend to push the technology first, push for the change. You know, we need to automate, and you know, we have too many of these things not working, and too much paper, and too many books, and all of that. And so the CIOs will drop a new piece of technology in and say, okay, use that, right? And then everybody's like, okay, make my life more hell, why don't you, right? And so what I've discovered is that if you can enroll the leadership of the organization in where you're headed, from what does transformation look like when you actually have it, right? Then you can help with getting the people that have to actually deliver that transformation to help you get there.
Lauren, I'd like you to give us, from the kind of startup perspective, especially in the age of bringing in completely new solutions into the market, what you see happening in the landscape and how you see things going at the moment.
All right, thanks, Kirk, and good night, everyone. So I'm Lauren Peart, and I'm the CEO of Blue Dot, and we are a decision support services company. In other words, we provide insights via research and data to our clients. You asked initially, where we're coming from, and I think that, like you and I had discussions before, I think it's never been a better time to be an entrepreneur in Jamaica right now. I think there's a lot of opportunities that are present now, especially that were not present when I started Blue Dot 4 years ago, or even when I first went to the Branson Center in 2013 as a little hustler. So, just things such as venture capital or angel investment or even just capital and was non-existent. And now we have all of this capital that's available for young entrepreneurs like myself. SSL, they just invested in us. Thanks, Lamar. And the outlook is really good.
What I would get to know is, I think everyone on this panel can actually give some insight into technologies that you think will drive the transformation in Jamaica. And this is definitely very open prediction, this is not a class, but I would love to hear from you all, as we hear about things like artificial intelligence and the blockchain and such like that.
Before we get into that, I always have to raise this issue. So in Jamaica, it is nearly impossible to register IP that is not a portion or some sort of mechanical device, because the Patent Act is from 1860 something. So I think that's a good segue, because that is a prohibitor of tech here. It is nearly impossible, and I'm hoping that some people will help me to lobby the government for that, from that point of view.
Okay, great. So I think that it's really more basic types of technology that are going to really kickstart things here. And I say that because, so we've, I brought Laren in a couple of times to pitch to different entities within the group. So for those of you that don't know, ICD has 9 groups within the portfolio now, right? And for the more traditional legacy companies, data is really, really, really important. And so I find that any type of technology that has to do with business intelligence or analytics, I think that type of technology will be quite foundational and is something that people can buy into because they get it. They see how it's going to benefit their businesses. And so I think that he's actually in a great space. So anything that is doing analysis, I think for sure.
I think cloud technologies is where it is. So the larger corporations, they would have gotten a head start because they're big, they have the large IT budget, they have this CRM system, Oracle financial systems and all that. The small enterprise, if they're smart, they can sign up maybe $30 a month US and have a very good CRM system for 5 users, or an accounting system that rivals what some of these large organizations are doing. So you can actually have a very efficient organization that rivals the technology that other the larger institutions may have. The cloud technology, like Google technology in terms of sharing and collaboration, that's actually available to everybody. So a lot of these business people, they're so busy, dealing with the sales and the accounting. Again, that's opportunities for entrepreneurs and tech companies to work with these small enterprises and show them that, look, I can really make it a lot more efficient. Robotic process automation has taken on like wildfire over there. It's like where you're giving each person their own personal robot. That's how they're actually pitching it now. But this, again, is cloud-based technology.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Hi, it's Novia MacDonald White, Senior Associate Editor at the Jamaica Observer. And guess what? You are watching Business Access Television.
Regis is the global leader in service offices. So service offices here at Regis is all about flexible workspaces and flexible working. So businesses, young startups, entrepreneurs, or existing businesses who are looking for ready-to-use serviced offices where you pay one invoice a month and it's all-inclusive. This is the place for you. Whether it's a 4-person outfit or a 20-person business, you can get an office for a day, for a week, for a month, for a year, and our office space is our core product. On top of our kind of core product of office space, we have the virtual office where we will manage your mail, we will manage your answering, we'll manage your telephone, so telephone answering, mail management, and depending on your level of needs, your level of requirements, we have different types of virtual office products. We also have meeting rooms, so clients in the center who need a boardroom or need a project meeting room, they can rent that for a half a day, for an hour, for 2 hours, and they get a discount as clients here. But it's also open to non-clients who need meeting rooms and want a very professional and productive environment. We provide that service too. And then we've got Business Lounge membership, and that membership allows you access to 3,000 Regis lounges right across the world. So if you're a member here, If you're in Miami or London or New York or Singapore, you can go to Regis Centre, you'll turn on your laptop and you'll connect to the Wi-Fi seamlessly. In addition to that, we've got co-working if you just want to rent a desk by the month. We also offer that service. So there's a lot of flexible working solutions and workspaces for the modern day business person, the modern day businesses. So when you look at what we have in our centres in Barbados or in London or in Trinidad or in Hong Kong, we get a diverse mix of businesses. So we're very excited about launching here in Jamaica, launching here in New Kingston. And in a few weeks' time, we'll start to see the community here develop, and we'll start to see a nice thriving business centre happening here. It's going to be very interesting, the types of customers and the types of clients we get coming in our door.
So tonight we explored what is happening in the global landscape from a technology and innovation perspective, and the possibilities for development here in Jamaica and the wider Caribbean. How these new innovations are affecting the global business environment, how it's affecting us. Ultimately, we started a discussion on how people in the Caribbean can start building their own solutions, what needs to happen for companies to start going from zero to big enterprise in little to no time, in the way that we've seen things happen with organizations that we all know like Airbnb, Uber, and such like that, which in many cases didn't exist 10, even 15 years ago. Ultimately, what we offer is an all-inclusive campus-style environment where the best in the Caribbean meet the best in the world. And the idea generally is that people are able to connect in a very meaningful way. It's a very immersive experience. We primarily explore emerging technologies, right? So we've sparked a conversation that is not very typical in Jamaica. Things like blockchain technology, robotics, artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality. But we look at them from a very practical level. What is happening in business, how things are shifting, and what we are known for is our ability to attract the best in the world, the best in industry in these spaces, right? Including, of course, our very own best in Jamaica and the wider Caribbean as well, right? So some of the speakers include people like Michelle Romano, who's a Dragon on Dragon's Den, and also the founder of a company called Clearbank. Founder of Vonage, a gentleman by the name of Jeff Pulver, who's joining our platform for the second time. We have people coming from companies like MasterCard, Airbnb, Google, Facebook, and such like that. We actually have a official Facebook workshop happening at Tech Beach for digital marketers. But then on the other side, we have people like Nadine Matthews from NCB, who's leading the transformation of Jamaica's largest bank. We have people like the CEO of JMB Bank, Jerome Smalling. We have the CEO of BCIC Insurance, which is doing they're doing a lot of interesting things in the insurance space. A gentleman by the name of Peter Levy. So we also tend to look at what is happening on the ground and try and bring those conversations to the table as well, and give them a global platform to share what they're doing with the rest of the world.
So we're here tonight at the Tech Beach Retreat. Mixa, your thoughts?
I thought it was amazing. I mean, what Tech Beach is really good at is bringing the discussion that's happening at Silicon Valley and other places to Kingston, to Jamaica, and we did that again tonight. I mean, we talked a lot about how can we incorporate blockchain and AI into technology and into companies in Jamaica, and the insights that the panel gave were really, really good. So,
all right. Talk to us about Tech Beach itself. You've been before.
Yeah.
What do you think?
I've been every year that it has happened, and every year I can't walk away from the panels that are there, because it's so engrossing to have the quality and the caliber of the people that are discussing at a very high level these changes that are going to affect every single human being for the next 10, 20, 30 years. So it's not missable at all. If you're interested in the trends in tech and the future of tech, you have to go to Tech Beach. There's nowhere else to go. Yeah.
The center, Branson Center officially moved to Kingston in 2017 after being Mobay since 2011. How was the transition and why?
It's been really fantastic because 70% of our entrepreneurs are actually based in Kingston, all of our partners, the media, etc. So we feel like we've really had more of an impact, and we're more integrated into the entrepreneurship ecosystem being based here in the business hub of Jamaica. And I think we actually also changed our strategy to target scale-up entrepreneurs, growth stage entrepreneurs instead of startups, and that has had really amazing results. Lauren is one of our entrepreneurs. He was on a panel here. He got a great investment this year from SSL Ventures too. And we have a lot of other entrepreneurs like that are investment ready, and you're going to see a lot more of them in the coming months.
What are your thoughts about the Tech Beach Retreat mixer this evening?
I think it's excellent. This is my first time here at the Mingle, and it would be my first time going to the retreat soon. I feel like it's a family here, brothers and sisters, very like-minded persons, and I'm excited to learn. I mean, I'll contribute where I can, but it's really about learning and sharing where we can, you know.
As someone that has a tech-based business, what would you say are some big challenges that are facing, I guess, startup businesses within the technology industry?
Well, you know, a lot of one of the challenges, especially for small businesses, is knowing what is out there. So researching what's the best systems available to you to meet your needs. From a simple point-of-sale system, there are so many out there you can buy, from the hardware to the software, etc. Those are challenges in and of itself. Another thing that maybe, you know, companies don't really pay close attention to is like security. To be really conscious of the risks involved with what you do take on board with your business. So there are a number of others, but those are two ones that jump to mind.
So talk to us about Growth Tech. What is it that you guys do?
Well, Growth Tech is a company that was conceptualized in 2016. So what we're doing is pretty much spreading connectivity in Jamaica, making connectivity like oxygen available to everyone everywhere. And with that, it segues nicely into this Tech Beach event, where they speak a lot about creating an ecosystem of technology to foster growth in Jamaica.
So talk to us about your company, Innovate 10X.
Okay, Innovate 10X is a passion of mine, where I'm actually looking at helping companies go along their digital transformation. So we know that there's a lot of technologies out there. There's artificial intelligence, blockchain, big data. It's all happening now. It's now becoming mainstream. But 95% of companies in Jamaica doesn't understand anything about the technology, literally. They're still struggling with accounts payables, inventory management, basic CRM, more to worry about, where new and emerging technology can help them along their journey.
The panel discussion earlier spoke to challenges within our tech industry here. What would you say is one of the bigger ones?
It's actually still a matter of a lack of funding. I think most banks or people with the capital don't understand how to fund technology. They're still looking like a physical asset, a motor vehicle, a real estate. Funding a tech business. That's a big problem, because tech business is usually built on an idea that you want to produce something that is software based. It's not something that's is tangible, something that you can actually touch and feel, right? But we need more people to understand that, to be able to invest in it and feel comfortable that if you stick with the entrepreneur, if they're very determined, you're like to actually make a very good return. Similar like if you're investing in a manufacturing or a distribution company.
And that's it for Business Access TV's coverage of the Tech Beach Retreat Regional Roadshow mixer right here at Regis in New Kingston. I've been your host, Amita Pasadweb, and thanks for tuning in. You're watching Business Access TV, serious about business.
Dodge & Global offers a CPA scholarship program to team members who join our team. A career in accountancy at Dodge & Global is a great choice and can offer you excellent job prospects. We believe that an accounting education is the greatest gift you can give yourself or anyone else. Few gifts make as significant an impact as the gift of an accountancy education with a job. It's a contribution that lasts a lifetime in the form of learning, opportunity, and success. Join our team and get the opportunity to be part of our CPA scholarship program. This scholarships awards program will be administered by the HR department of Dodge & Global. Requirements: first degree in accounting, employed at Dodge & Global, willing to pursue the CPA examination. Here's how to apply. Submit application to Staff Accountant, Dodge & Global. Email sa@dodgen.com.
Welcome to Jamaica Magazine. I'm Theodore Henry. One thing has come under the microscope as the world grapples with COVID-19 is access to food. You've seen the rush on supermarkets, and yes, our farmers continue to grow, but how can you supplement the food available from those sources? We explore that and other issues in today's program. Stay with me as I take you through the pages.
What to do if you think you have been exposed or are experiencing signs and symptoms of COVID-19. Immediately call 888-1-LOVE. That's 888-663-5683. In addition, you should stay at home. Don't go to work, school, or any public place. Do not use public transport, and avoid visitors to your home. You may need to do this for up to 14 days to reduce the spread of the infection. A message from the Ministry of Health and Wellness.
Before we go any further, I don't think we can stress this enough, so here goes. Coronaviruses are a large family of viruses that cause illnesses ranging from the common cold to more severe respiratory diseases. It is spread from person to person, mainly through the droplets produced when an infected person speaks, coughs, or sneezes, just like the common cold and flu. So let's review some of the common indicators you need to look out for. Respiratory symptoms, such as fever, cough, shortness of breath, and difficulty breathing. But check this, severe cases can cause pneumonia, severe acute respiratory syndrome, kidney failure, and even death. Unfortunately, at this moment, there is no known cure for COVID-19, but preventative measures can be taken. Guys, remember, wash your hands. Cough in your elbow, or cough and sneeze in a tissue, and please throw it away after you've used it once. Practice social distance and let us do what's best as we aim to make Jamaica the place of choice to live, work, raise families, and do business in good health.
Don't make diseases spread. Wash your hands with soap and water instead. Wash them regular or use a hand sanitizer. Make sure the germs them dead. Touching your eyes or your mouth or your nose. Wash your hands before you do things like those. After you use the bathroom before preparing food, come on, wash your hand them clean.
One of the things doctors advise now is to boost your immune system. And you do that by eating foods rich in vitamin C and other critical nutrients. But have you considered that you can grow quite a few of those and you don't need a farm to do it? Right now might be a good time to start some backyard gardening and grow healthy foods that boost your health and save your pockets. Check this out.
This garden is beautiful, right? Well, it took quite some time and a lot of hard work to get it to this stage. Did you get it in someone's backyard? It is. Backyard gardening is one sure way of eating healthy and saving money. Today, both you and I will be learning some important pointers on growing our very own garden. So, come, let's dig some dirt.
With me is Master Gardener Rashida Linton. She'll be telling us what to consider when choosing a location for a garden. Rashida, this looks like a good enough location.
It is. This is quite okay. You need to ensure that your property is located in an area that receives anywhere from 6 to 8 hours of sunlight per day. In fact, you need to also ensure that it gets adequate amount of water. It could be either a water tank, a roof gutter, or just a simple tap. You know what? Chris, he's well informed, very experienced. This is his property. Okay. He'll be able to tell you anything you want to know. Chris, this is Kerry. Kerry, this is Chris. She's interested in farming. Please tell her anything she wants to know. See you guys later.
Okay. All right, later. Chris, look like we're going to do some farming. Yeah, all right.
Get geared up. You'll need gloves and rubber boots. First, clear the land of stones, tins, broken glass, or other types of trash and large sticks or plastics that will hinder your plant's growth. Next, use the fork to dig the area and loosen the soil. You may want to make sure that you fork at least 10 to 12 inches or roughly 25 to 35 centimeters so that your plant roots grow easily. This is also the time that you should add whatever animal manure you have to the soil. Also, you may consider adding sand to improve soil structure and drainage. You want a nice crumbly texture. How much manure do you need? Use 1 kilogram or about 2.5 pounds of chicken manure, or 4 kilograms or 8 pounds of cow dung or goat manure to 1 square meter or a yard-sized bed. Fork the manure well into the soil and keep forking to mount a raised bed that is at least 3 feet wide or 90 centimeters and 20 to 30 centimeters or 1 to 12 inches high. Keeping the width at 3 feet will make it easier for you to sow, weed, water, and reap from the outside in without having to reach too far. To further ensure that your soil is free from pests and diseases, cover the soil with plastic for a few weeks. Cut large garbage bags down to the side seams and lay them on top of the soil to cover. You can use stones around the edges to keep the bags in place. The plastic covering will allow the soil to get heated in the sun, and over time, this will kill most of the insects, pests, and viruses that might be living in the soil. If you are fencing your plot, you should do that now too. Dig holes at least 1 foot or 30 centimeters. These holes should be at least 2 feet away from each corner of your raised bed. This will give you enough room to walk around as well as bend for sowing, weeding, and watering. Next, one by one, set your fence posts in each hole and fill them in. Then, nail chicken wire around your plot, making sure to leave an opening for entrance and exit.
Carrie, this is good, but you know you don't have to go through all this trouble. There's a much simpler way, especially for persons who don't have enough space. It is called containerized gardening. You need to ensure that you have access to a good amount of water along with 6 to 8 hours of sunlight per day. In fact, Bridget has a containerized garden. Let's go and see her.
All right. Chris, thanks.
Thank you.
Bridget, this is Kerry. Kerry, this is Bridget. Hi. Bridget has a container garden. Kerry is interested in doing containerized gardening. Please give her all the information she needs. Later, guys.
All right,
Later.
then. Take care.
Later.
Hi, Kerry.
Hi.
You have actually come good time because I'm just about to transplant some tomatoes.
Okay.
Right. So, this is my container.
When you grow in containers, you must have a proper drainage. If you buy clay or plastic flower pots, they will have holes punched in the bottom for this purpose. But if you are making your own, you must make sure you punch holes in the bottoms and sides so that the plants won't get waterlogged and develop root rot. As for getting the right soil mix, making sure you have really good healthy soil is even more important in container gardening than it is in raised bed gardening. That's because the soil in pots is shallower and can dry out more easily. Most container plants do best with a mix of soils. 1 part loamy soil, 1 part sand, and 1 part humus. Because potted soil does not easily retain nutrients, you should add 6 tablespoons of fertilizer to soil. Once you've put the right mix of soil in your pots, allow them to settle for a week or 2 before planting. The next thing to think about is choosing the right crop to grow in your pots. The most ideal plants for container gardening are callaloo, tomato, peppers, lettuce, cabbage, cucumber, legumes, condiments, and herbs.
Thank you so much, Miss Williams, for all your help. Yeah, man. Boy, backyard gardening, not easy. But hey, at least now we know about site selection and container gardening. Backyard living, not bad at all.
Protect yourself from the flu virus. Visit your nearest health center or doctor to get the flu vaccine. Cover your mouth and nose when coughing and sneezing. Wash your hands regularly with soap and water or by using an alcohol-based hand sanitizer. Avoid the spread of germs by not touching your eyes, mouth, or nose. And be sure to regularly disinfect surfaces and objects that are used often. Remember, your health is your responsibility.
As you get your backyard or side yard or veranda gardening going, a good way to keep those plants healthy is using natural fertilizer made from your own table scraps. That's right, we're going to show you how to set up your own composting at home.
Compost is one of the richest form of soil nutrient. So here we are buying fertilizer for huge sums of money, when in fact we are throwing away something which is richer in many regards than what we are buying, spending hard cash for. We, from time to time, do what we call garbage characterization survey. This is where we actually go island-wide and take samples of the garbage and look at what make up the garbage. All the surveys that are done in recent past points to one particular set of dynamic. The compostables are always the highest. 67% in some survey, 65% in some. We eat vegetables. We do ground provisions, the peelings from those. We use cardboards, newspapers, lots of stuff that can be broken down and can be put to good use. With such a high percentage of the solid waste being compostable, we are therefore forced to look at how we're going to manage in the best way possible, in the most efficient way possible, that high percentage of the garbage.
Composting is a rich form of soil that is broken down by microorganisms to become either fertilizer or soil. Now we're going to do a demonstration to show you how we can do it. First, if we're starting, this is our kitchen waste. So if you're starting a compost bin at home, you need to get your kitchen peel, your banana, your lettuce, your cabbage, your tomatoes, and you cut them in finer particles. It will make it break down much faster. In order for the microorganisms to work effectively, you need moisture, you need air, and you need heat. You can use a hand shovel or your hands. Too much moisture will allow the stuff to rot and it won't be compost. And if it is too dry, the microorganisms won't be able to work effectively. So you need to get a right mixture. If you squeeze it with a fist, you shouldn't have any water running out of it. If it's dripping, it is okay. If it is running out of it, that means you have too much water. So now this is our compost. If you keep this moisture in your compost, it will give you a maturity rate of 3.5 months. And you'll get this final product, which is this right here. Compost, what it does, the longer it stays into the ground, is the richer it becomes. We're going to demonstrate how we use our compost for potting. We're going to pot a few plants using our compost. This plant is called spider fern. It is an indoor plant that does like a fair amount of water. It likes a light mixture. The composting can be used for indoor and outdoor plants. This plant is called a bougainvillea. It is an outdoor plant. It likes a lot of sunlight. It blooms a lot, and it likes dry areas. The compost is offer drainage. It doesn't keep the water too long. This is now 6 weeks old, and this is 3 weeks after being planted as a seedling, using our compost. And this bougainvillea is 6 weeks after being planted by our compost. And they're just blooming, blooming, blooming. This is a mature spider fern that we use for our rentals, and this is about 2.5 months old.
At the NSWMA, the parks that we manage, the beautiful flowers that you see there, the composting that is used to fertilize these plants are actually done within the department here at Parks and Gardens.
The other benefit is that we at the NSWMA, we would need less trucks. Now, right now, our biggest problem is trucks to remove garbage. Can you imagine if we could take out the 67%, which we could convert at source? What that would do to our national budget? Gas oil, repairs of trucks, labor to work on the trucks. Just look at it. It is huge savings that could come. Exponential is about getting a behavioral change at source that will see significant reduction in solid waste. We want to see this reduction and to see it in a very tangible way. And we believe that composting provides that excellent opportunity.
To properly carry out a hand rub, apply a palmful of the product in your cupped hand, covering all surfaces. Rub your hands palm to palm. Rub your right palm over the back of your left hand with interlaced fingers and vice versa. Rub your hands palm to palm with fingers interlaced. Rub the back of your fingers to opposing palms with fingers interlocked. Rotationally rub backwards and forwards the clasped fingers of your right hand in your left palm and vice versa. Once your hands are dry, they are now safe.
Regularly wash your hands for 20 seconds. By now, we're all aware that this is one of our best defenses against getting infected with the novel coronavirus. That also applies when you're busy digging in the soil and planting crops. Check out this innovative, cost-effective method.
Based on laws imposed by the United States, Jamaican farmers are required to be certified under the Food Safety Modernization Act, as well as the Global Good Agricultural Practices Global GAP, if they want to export to that country. Given this development, the Rural Agricultural Development Authority RADA saw the need to introduce a hand wash station for farmers. It's part of the measures to assist local growers improve sanitation on their farms and fulfill one criteria for export certification.
The concept behind this is just a little bit different. Usually other hand wash stations will have a gravity-fed system, but what we done, we have incorporated a system that was here, that was developed here locally several years now, where we used the pump and spray that was introduced some time ago. Although it was introduced for the same concept in terms of showing and things like that, we have used the features of the pump and spray to add a little bit more dynamics to our presentation here, where you have a pressurized system. So that calls for a person's self. One person can actually wash their hands here without assistance from somebody else. So you'd go there without contaminating that water source that you have.
This hand wash station is not only affordable, it is also easy to assemble. All you need is an iron trolley, 3 oil kegs, a pump and spray instrument, and some PVC pipes and fittings.
From there, at a local welder, we modify the trolley, and in a way that we could install the kegs. So here we have the trolley, and we weld the handles, so it would be able to hold the keg steadily. And this is a pump and spray that we can get locally. So how it works is that a farmer or anybody who is working in the field would come by the wash station. He would get some soap on his hand, okay, and he would pump the system. The pair would pressurize the bottle, and in return air will displace the water, and the water will comes up, and then the farmer would wash. After washing, the farmer wouldn't have to touch anything to contaminate his hands. He would just move over to the hand towel and dry his hands.
It was good. I enjoy doing it. It wasn't hard at all. It was just easy. Just put my foot and pump it. Water just come up, and I wash my hands.
The effects of not having a hand wash station, well, it's really more for safety as it relates to you, the farmer, because what RADA's mandate is also about is to educate farmers on best practices as it relates to agriculture. And the farmer's safety is a part of the best practices that we are trying to encourage out there.
The team also successfully designed a water pump made using a weed hacker, which can fill a 50-gallon drum in 5 minutes.
This waka can be used for more than one purpose. So a farmer can have a waka but need a water pump, cannot afford a water pump. Now what the farmer can do is just easily retrofit the waka and a pump, merge them together so that he can have a water pump and a waka. So at times, whenever the farmer need a waka, he just remove the pump and put on the waka section.
Farming may be expensive, but through innovation, your basic equipment could be just what you need to ensure greater savings.
As you get going on your new growing venture, there's an important risk to public health that you must know about. It's called antimicrobial resistance. Watch this next feature and take action. Traditional farmers, this especially applies to you.
In 2015, the World Health Organization declared antibiotic resistance a global threat, resulting in the development of a global action plan. By 2016, all member countries were mandated by the United Nations General Assembly to develop an action plan using the global document as a template.
Antimicrobials are used around the world to control and treat infections in animals and humans, but their overuse and misuse puts their efficacy at risk. The ultimate objective is to reduce the need for antimicrobials by preventing disease. In this regard, animal diseases and infections should primarily be prevented by ensuring biosecurity, following good production and good management practices, and implementing integrated disease control programs to minimize the occurrence of diseases.
Antimicrobial drugs are also used to treat diseases in animals and plants, as well as in farming to boost production. The result is that they can end up in the environment, in water and waste from health facilities and farms, and sometimes even in our food.
Both our health and agriculture ministries, therefore, have joined forces with the Pan American Health Organization, PAHO, and the Food and Agriculture Organization of the United Nations, FAO, to develop a national action plan underscoring the need for a broad-based, multi-sectoral approach and response to this rising issue.
Not long ago, I sat in the lab looking at a culture plate of a urine sample taken from a 40-odd-year-old lady. And I literally felt chills down my spine as I saw that an organism was growing on it that was resistant to 21 of the 22 antibiotics tested against it. And the one antibiotic it was sensitive to would not have worked in real life. This is a scary prospect. And I'm sure persons will wonder, well, what do you do? What do you do with such a patient? So this reinforces the fact that the problem is not coming, it is already here.
Bacteria we can't stop fight. Antibiotics, take them right. Antibiotics, antibiotics. Come let me tell you how to take them right. Only take them from professionals with medical credentials. Do not share them with friends or relations. Use prescriptions, follow instructions. Take them till them done with no interruptions. Bad bacteria we can't stop fight. Antibiotics, take them right.
What do you do with your leftover antibiotics? Which I'm sure some of you have, because many persons rarely ever complete the course. Do you return it to the pharmacy, as a good citizen should? Or do you flush it down the toilet? If you do the latter, where does that water go? And how can the antibiotic influence the soil it eventually ends up in and the callaloo field it nourishes? Does that have implications for us?
AMR is fueled by factors including the less than optimal prescribing of antibiotics by some physicians and inadequate adherence to recommended behaviors by patients, including completion of prescribed antibiotic courses. According to the National Survey of the Knowledge, Attitudes, and Prescribing Practices of Doctors regarding resistance in a Caribbean country, 80% of Jamaicans reported sharing antibiotics. 50% thought the same antibiotic worked for all infections. Only 14% admitted to asking doctors for antibiotics, with doctors giving them antibiotics in 90% of cases. Only 50% thought the course of antibiotics should be finished. In other words, from start to finish. You know, we have this tendency that we start taking it, we feel a little better, and we feel like we don't need to take it again. It's a very important thing, very, very serious, and it's something that we really need to do more to address.
Responsible and prudent use of antimicrobial agents include implementing practical measures and recommendations intended to improve animal health and animal welfare while preventing or reducing the selection, emergence, and spread of antimicrobial resistant bacteria in animals and humans.
In an ironic twist, the antibiotics that kill the bacteria that would kill the patient have now created bacteria that can no longer be killed by these antibiotics and will therefore kill the patient. Antibiotic resistance is real. This here is a call for action.
Motorists, when driving on the road, here are some simple reminders. Look out for and extend courtesy to all road users. Give plenty of room to pedestrians, especially in wet weather. Drive slowly. No bother wet them up. Slow down when approaching a pedestrian crossing or school, and always be prepared to stop. Remember, a school zone is a 30-kilometer zone. Cut your speed. Drivers of large and slow-moving vehicles should always keep in the far left hand of a dual carriageway. Keep it simple. Drive left and pass right. These are just simple reminders of your road duties. Drive safely.
Thanks for watching another edition of Jamaica Magazine. Join us again tomorrow when we'll do this all over again. Send your feedback on today's show to jamaicamagazine@jis.gov.jm. Also, follow us on our social media pages and download our app on your Apple and Android devices. And you can also visit our website at jis.gov.jm for more information. Don't forget too that this and other programs can be found on our YouTube channel. So on behalf of the entire production crew, I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
Hi, it's Novia MacDonald-White, Senior Associate Editor at the Jamaica Observer. And guess what? You are watching Business Access Television.
Hey guys, welcome and thanks for joining us for another episode of your favorite travelogue program. On this episode of Chill Spot, we'll be venturing into the hills of Good Hope, Trelawney to enjoy the outdoors at Chukka Caribbean Adventure Tours. We'll be in the company of Jason and Anna K. Russell, siblings in business at one of Montego Bay's longest standing hotspots, Pier 1 Bar, Restaurant and Marina. So don't go anywhere, lots more Chill Spot after this. Now, before we head inside Chukka Caribbean Adventure Tours to start our day with Jason and Anna Kay, here are a few quick facts about them. Firstly, they are from a family with a very impressive background in business. Secondly, Pier 1 has been around since 1986. And thirdly, they just acquired the Deja Hotel in Montego Bay. Let's meet Jason and Anna Kay Russell. Hi.
Finally, Candy King is here.
Hi, Anna. Nice to meet you.
Nice
to meet you. This is actually my second time to this property, and I know the first time we didn't even explore half the things that they have here. So what do you guys have planned for us today?
Ah, boy. You have your swimsuit,
yes,
right?
I do.
And you have your fun hat on.
I never have my fun hat on, but nevertheless.
No, I heard the last time you were here, you were screaming all day. So we're going to dial it down a notch. Something a little nicer, more, no, we're hoping, you know, I don't know, but a little more smiles, a little more laughing, a chill vibe.
So Anna Kay, this is a place that you guys visit all the time?
Oh yes, oh yes. It's lovely with the family, we bring the kids and we spend all day here.
So can you guys tell me if there has been any additions to the property since I last visited?
Well, yeah, of course. So it's the new water park, water slide option that they have, which was beautiful. And I'm glad you're back because I don't think you visited there the last time.
That wasn't there when I came, no.
So perfect. It is just a dream. We spend all day on the slide, going up the waterfall. It's great. This whole area where we are now, the bar area, everything, is all.
Yeah, I can see it in the background there. So I'm ready to explore. I'm not sure if I'm ready for the slide, but I'm willing to go and look.
Yeah, there's a little surprise on the slide that's going to shock you. There is.
Might have a little scream.
Just a little, ah! Well, let's go, guys. I'd love to see it. Great.
Go.
Coming up,
there is a certain level of trust that you have working with siblings that you don't get in any other environment, really. And that I appreciate more than anything else.
Cash flow and budgeting analysis. A business can be profitable and still run into trouble due to cash flow issues. We can forecast and evaluate your company's financial condition, estimate financing requirements, and track cash flow sources and uses. For more information and to discuss your requirements with one of our experts, please contact us today. Email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
tell me about the hot spot that is Pier 1 Montego Bay. Pier 1 is picturesque, it's open air, it's right on Montego Bay's waterfront, so who wouldn't love it, right? Exactly. But what's nice is that it's a restaurant, and then it really comes alive at night with nighttime activities. Right. It's an entertainment hub. It's Mobay's favorite meeting spot, really. So what would you say is a typical day like for both of you?
For me, a lot of drinking. I'm not proud of, but it comes with the territory. But you know, I would be ungrateful to complain. We do office hours, of course. But it is a lot of fun. It is meeting new people every day. Yeah. It is interacting with friends. It's a good time. It's a lot of work, it's a lot of long hours, but you know, it's better than being in a cubicle all day, exactly. Not knowing whether the rain is falling or the sun is out. You know, exactly. So, as I say, I would be ungrateful to complain. A day for us is stopping at the bank, going to work, having a meeting, signing some checks, going to the bar, having a drink with a friend.
And then meeting friends after work. So you guys are siblings, of course, and have been working together. What is it like working in a family-operated company? People tend to think it's easier. Would you say that's true? You know what I would say? There is a certain level of trust that you have working with siblings that you don't get in any other environment, really. And that I appreciate more than anything else. You know, and then there's a compassion side of it where we understand each other very well. We understand what irks each other, and we kind of avoid those things. We work really well together for those reasons. And if he needs to stay in, I will pick up the slack. I'll jump in. If I need a day, he jumps in. So there is that camaraderie and that working together that we have that really keeps us happy and keeps us going.
Yeah, but there's the flip side of it. You know, when Christmas comes around and somebody needs to stay behind, you know, we've never had a full Christmas dinner where nobody has to work. You know, holidays, somebody has to stay behind. Growing up, family vacations were difficult to plan because, of course, the family is the one running the business and you'd have to close the business to me.
But we have had Christmas dinners at Pier 1 because we've had to work. So everybody, the whole family comes and we set up a big family table in the middle of the restaurant.
We've done that. But the truth is, we've created family within the company also. We've created extended family. People that has been with us for over 30 years. So even though we are blood family in the business, it's important in a business to create an extension of your family. That trust that Anna mentioned does exist with outside people that have come in. And we found that and we're lucky to have nurtured it and to have, you know, it's been reciprocated to us. Yeah. So in situations where you'd want a family member there, it doesn't have to be a Russell. It can be somebody that has been there for a long time and you can give them the money and the keys and the checkbook and say, look, we're leaving, deal with it.
Deal with it. What would you say is the key ingredient to the success of Pier 1?
Energy. I would say building the right energy is the key ingredient to anything. Even when you don't have money, you know, you've gone to Helsha, you've gone to some small places all over the world that, you know, dingy, way out. There's nothing going for them except energy. You go there and you feel at home, you feel that love, that respect. And in our business, you know, we are not retail. Nobody's looking for the cheapest beer or where can they get something to eat. They're looking for somewhere that's close to home. Right. Yeah. And I think us being a family business, us going to work as if it's our home, we do welcome people as if it's our living room. And people do respond to that. You know, we've had people like that, I mean, in any business, you know, they've not had the time that they expected. But we're able to, look, you're at our house, let's make it better. Before you leave, let's make it right. And it is important for us to meet and greet as much people as we can. Because for us, it's like you're walking into our home.
Yeah.
And with that comes respect on both sides. So if you're coming in my home, you need to conduct yourself in a certain way. And if you are in my home, I need to treat you a certain way. So for us, it's really been that energy.
And when did you acquire the management of Pier 1?
In 2004.
Okay, so what would you guys say is your stance on being a good corporate citizen? And would you say Pier 1 is?
Being a good corporate citizen means owning your surroundings. you couldn't be in business this long and be on an island.
Right.
You have to integrate and have things, come in and you have things go out. So for us, it's been living up to the fact that we are Montegonians and we're going to be here forever. That's the intention.
Yeah.
So it's taking responsibility for all Montego Bay, taking responsibility for the bad roads, taking responsibility for the children that need help at the home, taking responsibility for an event that might even slightly be competition for you. But guess what? It's for the betterment of Mobile.
And we try our best to be involved in community activities. Anything coming up, we'll support. We bring our crew out, and we really are an integral part in Montego Bay community. Would you say you have a vision for the overall business community in Montego Bay?
Definitely, and it comes from traveling. It comes from going to Las Vegas, South Beach, France, Ibiza. It comes from going to these places. Well, you're in the industry, you have to get out there. And one thing you learn is if there was the best bar in the world in the middle of a desert in Nevada, you would not go. But you will go because there's 100 best bars.
Yeah.
And for us, it's been important to nurture more, to bring more people, to bring more bars, to bring more tourists, to bring more local tourists. And it is something that we promote, it is something that we advocate for within the business industry. Let us not fight each other. I have a Friday night, you can have a Saturday night. Let's roll the people so that a man would say, hey, I'm in Mobile for a week, 2 weeks, and I still haven't seen everything that there is.
Haven't seen everything.
Rather than being, I've been there for 2 or 3 days and I've seen everything, so I'm not going back. We've been the voice of change. We've been, we hand out flyers that are competitors within our establishment. We support, we bring our crews, because sometimes it's not about spend, it's about support in physical presence. And we find that small promoters, small businesses, on a Saturday night, we'll just roll out, buy a bottle, say, hey, you might meet, because, we have a hotel now, Deja, and we'll grab some tourists that are there and say, hey, we're going on the road. You guys want to come? And it works. They love you forever. They call you when they get, we're back safe. We love you, we love the hotel, we love the Mobile, it's so great, everybody is so friendly. So it's important for us as a business city, commerce, to come together, not fight each other, but more, create more rather than one single less.
How would you guys see yourself affecting change in the industry? I mean, you kind of touched on it a while ago.
We're always trying to find a cutting edge, something new, something that, Montego Bay may not have seen before, or seen maybe in a different way. Like Jason mentioned, travel. So that's a really important part, to keep things fresh and new so that it doesn't burn out, it doesn't get boring. And that's, another really good way that we keep ourselves innovative and fresh and relevant.
What is your proudest professional achievement to date?
I guess I would have to say being on Business Access TV.
Cute, very cute.
We just got an award from the Mayor of Montego Bay, right? For outstanding contribution to commerce, entertainment, and eatery.
Oh, nice! Congratulations!
Yes.
Thank you very much.
So that's been wonderful. It's nice to be recognized. We've been here for 30 years and we've been a part of the community, and to know that the community appreciates us is really rewarding.
And we've won awards, from international, agencies, the TripAdvisor and stuff like that. And they see what we do, and they interact with people that come here and praise us. But to be acknowledged within your community is always difficult. You're never a king in your own town. So for us to be awarded with, the mayor to really stop and say, hey, you guys have really done more good than bad in the community. But it's good. It's good that you're in a place and people look on you with favor. It means a lot, because of course we could be making money and people don't think very much of you, or don't think highly of what you do. And I think we've managed to do both.
What we do, Candy, is
it's a passion. It really is, I want to say, a labor of love.
Right.
And whether we're successful or not, the fact that the community appreciates what we do, that's the success that drives us.
Right.
And I think we're united on that stand. And even extend it to our family. I mean, our parents started the business out of a labor of love.
Right.
They love to entertain, and that just infiltrated all of us as siblings. And that's where our success really lies.
Okay, well, I think on that note, our first activity for the day is ready.
How is your voice?
My voice is fine. Since you won't be screaming, it will remain
Okay,
fine.
all right, let's see how that
A
works
little
out.
woohoo! All right, guys, well, let's go.
Go.
Coming up.
If people coming over to your house to play dominoes and you're going to grill some chicken and you think that's going to be a bother, it's, you know, you're in the wrong business. And a lot of people get into it because they like going out, but they don't like hosting. They like being hosted. We host.
Cameo takes you behind the scenes of Jamaica's exploding creative industries to give you an insider's look at how creatives get the job done.
I'm really picky about how we treat our customers.
As creative people, we went a little bit over the top.
Each week, we interview innovators leading the charge in their industry. The chaos of creativity meets the stricture of structure on Business Access TV's Cameo.
Stay current and gain more information on the ever-evolving industry of real estate on Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Well, guys, that was fun. What did you think of it?
I love it.
You didn't scream too loud.
Yeah, the slide wasn't as bad as I thought.
Great.
So it's food time now, right?
It wasn't that bad.
And yes, I just worked up a big appetite.
Right.
And I have my coconut here.
Yeah, just give me everything.
I want the jerk pork. So I want to talk to you guys a little bit more about the personal side of you. How would you describe each other?
Can I get another drink here, please?
Yeah, interesting.
You go first, and then I will know what to say about you after.
I'll tell you something. Jason has one of the biggest hearts of anyone that I know. Extremely caring and extremely smart.
Wow, my head can't manage much more.
Jason has clear vision. You know, I think he gets that a lot from our father, who is a visionary in himself. And he can decipher problems before they become problems, and that helps us to mitigate our own mistakes and saves me from myself sometimes.
Right.
When I have these crazy ideas and he has to say, hold on, step 1, step 2, but there's a step 3. So, but he's fun. He's incredibly charming and humorous and great to work with. We share an office and it's constant laughing and it does get intense.
Right.
And that's how I would describe Jay.
All right, your turn.
I
did. Nice. Yeah, you were nice. You were nice. Anna Kay is, you know, is the backbone of the business. Anna Kay's personality and her attention to detail makes working pleasurable. It makes, you know, she fills in all the gaps. She makes sure everything is done on time, make sure everything works.
I didn't think you noticed all of that.
Yeah, well, I don't give you credit where it's due because I think you would run with it. It's a yin and a yang situation. I'm a very seat of your pants kind of run out there and just get it done. And Anna Kay is like, okay, how are we going to get it done? You know, what are the steps? Step 1, and she's writing. Anna has a notebook like this. And Anna, what did we do last time? She's like, okay, well, you said we were going to, and I, no.
That is true.
And at the end of the day, we end up accomplishing a lot more than we even thought we could. With the vision and then the actual feet on the ground and the operations, it comes together without even realizing that it was work. Because in an organization, that yin and yang work, even in a marriage, you know, sometimes people come in the office and think we're married. You know,
Mrs.
they're
Russell.
like, yeah, hey, Mrs. Russell, you know, I know that you're the one that write the checks, and I'm like, yeah, she's the sister doing. I don't even realize, Miss Russell. But it does have that marriage a lot of times where she is the homemaker. She's the one who makes sure that the pot is on fire and food is being cooked and the children are fed. And I am out there just making the business. And sharing an office, and we have a home office policy at Pier 1 where, you know, you can't really keep a secret. And there are no secrets. And being in that office with her, having these wild ideas and knowing that they are being thought out really makes a difference. And her attention to detail comes from her background. You know, she went, you're a scientist. That is her degree. And I actually asked her to come to work at Pier 1 for some help, some structure. And that's exactly what she brought.
Yeah, I was pursuing science. I had wild dreams of genetic engineering and feeding the world, you know, coming up with something brilliant, being in textbooks. And at the end of my degree, like Jason said, he asked me to come down and help him. But science for me was, although I am a structured person, it didn't allow me to showcase my personality. And truly growing up in this family, and I think in me there's a social factor that I crave, you know. So being at Pier 1 has allowed me to be structured, get things done in a certain way, and then be able to go down and have friends and be sociable, and it's all a part of work, and it fulfills all of my kind of personal.
Well, like me, I grew up playing music. From back in the day, me and DJ Liquid used to play together, and all we wanted to do was entertain people. Never wanted a bar or a restaurant, never wanted a desk with a calculator and a computer. You know, you wanted to be sleeping all day and playing music all night. It was important for me to make people happy. That's what really worked. So I never thought I would be in the business, but it connected.
Right.
So tell me about your childhood, which schools you guys went to, where you were raised, how many other siblings you have, if any?
It's 5 of us kids. Originally, our family's from Kingston. My mother's from Old Harbour Bay, actually. Dad's from Kingston. And we ended up in Mobay via Mandeville. So my parents spent, about 30 years in Mandeville, where they had Feeding Tree Restaurant. At some point, Dad was in Ochi. He did Little Madness, was a hotel that he actually started. It was the first all-inclusive concept in Jamaica. Okay. It's a long history of entertainment and thing, but it's 5 of us. At some point, we've all worked in the family business. My sister Peter Gay, she is still working with us now. She's doing our marketing, sales and marketing. There's Shari and Robin, who are at the hotel, Deja Hotel. So they are running that on their own, and then Jason and I are at Pier 1.
Now, you mentioned your dad briefly, Robert Russell, who is a very prominent businessman. How has he influenced you guys?
As far as we are concerned in the hospitality business, I don't think you'll find a more hospitable person than Robert Russell. And anybody that knows him know that he will fill his vehicle to capacity to go to the next stop. He will pour every liquor out his bottle to serve the mass. He will invite you over to his house to carve that chicken to the last bone to feed. You know. We grew up every Super Bowl party, every Wimbledon final. I mean, people playing chess was a big thing at the house. You know, anything that we could find that the TV could tune in on, that people would come over and watch, would have a party for it. It was out of his personality. We're always the ones hosting something. If you have to get up out of your bed and feel like you're laboring to go to the bar and have a drink with friends, you're in the wrong business. If people coming over to your house to play dominoes and you're going to grill some chicken and you think that's going to be a bother, you'd rather to just keep your house closed, turn on the AC and watch something on TV. You're in the wrong business. And a lot of people get into it because they like going out, but they don't like hosting. They like being hosted. We host. And that's really primarily from my father.
Well guys, thank you so much for taking me here to Chuck of Good Hope again and letting me experience their water slide and their adventure park. It was lovely having you and getting to know you both. Thank you very much for coming on the show.
Thanks for coming.
Chukka is indeed the ultimate playground for adventure and nature lovers alike. And today I had a blast doing various activities with Jason and Anna K. Russell, siblings in business at one of Montego Bay's longest standing hotspots, Pier 1. I hope you enjoyed the show, and remember, you can check out previous episodes of Chill Spot on BATVJA.com. Until next Friday, I'm Candy. Bye!
Hi guys, I'm Jason.
Yep. Well done.
Start again.
What is your proudest professional achievement to date?
I guess I would have to say being on Business Access TV.
Cute, very cute.
Hey guys, thanks and welcome to another... Thanks.
Creating change. Building a future. Caring hands. Giving back. Touching hearts and shaping lives. Impacting our world for the better.
The Good Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
Hi, it's Novia MacDonald White, Senior Associate Editor at the Jamaica Observer. And guess what? You are watching Business Access Television.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access. Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Welcome to the inaugural Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Festival. It's all things coffee, culinary, and culture.
This coffee festival is absolutely phenomenal.
It is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger every year.
We have some coffee product infusion with coffee fried dumpling, coffee bame, we have coffee rice and peas, roast fish.
I've been to festivals in other countries and it's world class. I like the quality, I like what I'm seeing.
Everything today was great and I'm looking forward to it for next year.
It's the inaugural Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Festival, and BATV is here to bring you highlights from day 2 of a 3-day event which is already off to a great start at promoting the world's best music, food and coffee right here in the cool hills of Newcastle in St. Andrew. I'm your host Andrew Laidley and I'll have the highlights, so stay with us. Much more after this.
Welcome to my constituency, Mikasa Sukasa. All right. Now, as you can see, this coffee festival is absolutely phenomenal. It is going to get bigger and bigger and bigger every year. We made sure that the roads, well, they told us the Queen was coming. They didn't realize it was the coffee festival that was coming. The roads are wonderful all the way up to red light. And by the time we come back here next year, we will have beautiful roads all the way to Newcastle to ensure that your experience is fabulous. Minister, I have to thank you. I have to thank the Ministry of Tourism for that particular insight in understanding that for the coffee farmers to do well, we have to move from just thinking about coffee as a drink. We have found the man who understands networking, tourism, and marketing a product that we want to move from just being our wonderful Blue Mountain coffee to the legendary Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee.
Coffee, as you know, is the second most consumed liquid on earth. More than 70 countries across the world utilize coffee for various applications. We in Jamaica seem to have locked ourselves into coffee for export. But there are so many other applications, economic value that we can derive from the use of coffee in so many forms. This morning I read that coffee, in fact, can make flour. So you can make coffee now, coffee cake, of course, which you all know about. But you can make your coffee cookies that you all know about. But now you can make coffee dumpling. The point we're making is that there are numerous other applications. It is now possible for us to create a huge coffee value chain, and from it, the coffee cottage industries. So that exhibitions like these, which we're promoting, and we're doing it with a lot of energy, is not going to provide a showcase of coffee beverage and an opportunity for tasting and for the world to recognize, in fact, that we have the best coffee in the world. But it's also an opportunity for us to create a value chain that will bring jobs and more economic well-being to a larger number of our Jamaican people who are in the interior and who, because of where they live, lacking in urbanity as it exists, still have the opportunity to generate income and to stem the drift from the rural areas into the urban areas seeking jobs. So tourism is that centerpiece that drives jobs and inclusive growth. And part of what we're doing is to create a strategy that not only brings visitors to our shore, but to enable the expenditure from visitor arrivals to remain in the destination of Jamaica. Jamaica now has a retention of only 30 cents in the dollar, although that is 10 cents higher than the rest of the Caribbean, and only 20 cents below that of the highest performer in the region, the Dominican Republic. But we must build out that capability because that's how we're going to be wealthy from tourism. Finally, I want to say, located as we are here, and this Newcastle is a perfect place for it to be.
So I'm here with Adam Stewart. He's the chairman of the Tourism Linkages Network. Talk to me a little bit about the inaugural Blue Mountain Coffee Festival that's happening here today.
It's kind of hard to beat this, right? So we decided when we were going to do this, we're going to celebrate the best attributes of Jamaica, what Jamaica is naturally good at. You know, Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee is something that we almost take for granted in many instances. It's voted world's best as the highest grade coffee, celebrated all around the world. And what we wanted to do was find a way to expand the image of the Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee. So locally to Jamaican citizens, so we create more of a coffee culture in the country of Jamaica. To the purchasing teams in, you know, the network is a division of the Ministry of Tourism. So all of the purchasing divisions of the hotels across the country, so that we're getting Blue Mountain coffee in the hands, whether it's in the suitcases in the exported coffee that they take home, or they're tasting it in the hotels themselves. The idea was to put on a festival that everybody could come to. I have about 50 people here from Sandals, and it's amazing. Every single one of my team members that I've asked so far, if they've been up here to the JDF camp up in the Blue Mountains, not one has said yes. So we live in Jamaica. There are things about Jamaica that we don't even explore as yet, and they're having the time of their life. So you have the vendors here showcasing all of their products: coffee scrubs, coffee candles, coffee infused products that you put on your skin, the actual coffee cakes. We had a coffee dumpling a while ago, a flour dumpling, coffee rice and peas. I never see that yet in my life. And these are wares that the ultimate goal here is that people are trading, people are selling, our visitors are feeling it. So we get them into the hotel, they enjoy it, they go back home, they go on the website, and we just start exporting products out of Jamaica in a way that, you know, we think of coffee as just a drink, but it is so much more than a drink and can become so much more than a drink.
Now, I know that outside of your role as chairman in the Linkages Network, you are also a member of the private sector here in Jamaica. How important would you say it is that private sector members come on to projects like this and really encourage it?
Well, private sector is what drives the economy, and that's what we have to remember, right? So the government puts a framework around policy, but it is actually the private sector trading that, you know, gets the economic dollars turning, spins off the taxation, which, you know, allows us to do all of our infrastructure and investments for the country. So, you know, without private sector, there are no economics. Without economics, people can't afford to live, and they can't afford to, you know, to rise to the prosperity that we're trying, all of us in our own way, to get Jamaica to rise and matriculate to a higher standard of living. So, you know, the message here today is simply trade, do business, formalize yourself into the tax net for sure, and just get business flowing in a way that people naturally fall in love. The interesting thing is that the product that it is that we're talking about is something people naturally love when they're exposed to it. Either whether they're drinking the coffee, or they're putting the scrubs on themselves, or you're smelling the candles. These are all things that immediately you look at somebody's face and you don't have to sell it to them. They love it as it is. So we're just showcasing it, marketing it, and then hopefully trade comes behind that.
We take a break and come back with much more from the inaugural Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Festival. Stay with us.
Full-service HR solutions. Whether attempting to increase market share, improve profitability, or add staff, every company is trying to grow. Unfortunately, every company also encounters challenges and experiences pain during the growth process. Not surprisingly, many executives don't have the time to address these challenges without shifting their focus away from revenue-generating tasks. That's where we come in. At Dog & Global, we're passionate about helping people like you grow their businesses, take better care of their employees, and enjoy a higher quality of life. And we've been doing just that for more than 17 years. What sets Dog & Global apart from other HR outsourcing firms is our ability to create customized and scalable service offerings that not only meet your organization's current needs, but also can grow as your business grows. Why our model works. We deliver our HR services in one of two ways, either through a professional employer organization arrangement, PEO, or through an administrative services organization, ASO, arrangement. Professional Employer Organization, PEO. Under a professional employer organization arrangement, your company enters a co-employment relationship with Doggin Global. This allows us to act as the employer of record for your business, facilitating shared liability with Doggin Global on employee-related matters. This arrangement also gives us full authority to perform many of the tedious administrative tasks associated with being an employer, payroll administration, benefits reconciliation, etc., on your behalf and process all employee-related taxes under our tax identification number. Administrative Services Organization, ASO. Doggin Global ASO model allows you to pick and choose from our wide array of services to create a custom offering designed to support or supplement your current in-house HR staff or internal processes. This a la carte approach is more like traditional business process outsourcing and vendor-client relationships, and works best for large and established companies that already have an HR infrastructure in place. For additional information, contact us at email info@doggin.global, website www.doggin.global.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Now here's more highlights from the inaugural Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Festival. I'm now joined by Minister of Tourism, Edmund Bartlett. Minister, it's the inaugural Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Festival. Talk to me about the plans that went into this festival.
Well, first of all, the notion of a coffee festival flows from the fact of utilizing our cultural assets as a means to drive visitor arrivals into our country. But it also goes to a deeper value of bringing to the forefront of the consciousness of all of us as Jamaicans, the power and the value of these cultural assets and the extent to which we have not been utilizing them sufficiently to bring economic value to ourselves and to cause the prosperity to come. And so this festival is therefore an intention for us to celebrate all things coffee, for us to look at what coffee is really capable of doing, the deep and wide value chain of coffee. That it is not just an export crop, a commodity for value added to be attached to another country somewhere else, but that it is a part of an asset with enormous capability for spin-offs. That there are so many applications to coffee that if we get it right, we can develop a whole industry around coffee.
Minister, I understand that the government has started an Eat Jamaica campaign. Talk to me a little bit more about that.
Yeah, well, you know, the Eat Jamaica campaign has been on and on and on and on. And we have to do something more practical, like producing enough to be able to eat. But part of what we need to also do is to change our consumption patterns. Because Jamaica's staple is still imported good, rice and flour and grains. So we need to look seriously at our consumption patterns, because that's a big way in which Eat Jamaica is going to be truly meaningful, is when we are having a taste for Jamaican goods and Jamaican assets.
Minister, I want to talk to you a little bit about what happened last year with Jamaica losing what was regarded as one of its major trading partners. I believe it was Japan. Are we shoring up the sector now by having a festival like this?
Well, no. Well, look, the global market has changed, and we have to respond to it. And one of the things that keeps you on the cutting edge is nimbleness and adaptability. You have to be adaptive, because the market is going to change, because it's a function of human action. And so we have to be always doing more with what we have so that we can be ahead of the curve every time there's a change. So now we need to look at how we can make coffee far more effective on the market for us, not just now as beans that we produce for another country to process, but how do we do the conversion ourselves and then to enable the other applications which will deepen and broaden the value chain.
Talk to me about some of the preparation that went into this.
Well, it was quite exciting to have this. You know, we really wanted to have it here in the Blue Mountains, so we partnered with Newcastle. I mean, it's quintessential Blue Mountain. We worked with all the partners, both those on the other side close to the Gordon Town as well as those on the Newcastle side, and really just decided to showcase everything coffee, but also to celebrate everything that is the Blue Mountain. So, you know, we have great cafes and restaurants and bars all along the way, but we also have some great attractions. So we're combining everything. We have very good culinary experiences. We have some really great restaurants, and we've brought everything into one place as everyone can experience it. The beauty of the views of the Newcastle, but also the history of the Newcastle, and then putting everything together so that persons can really have a fantastic time.
Now, I know that the government is placing greater emphasis on gastronomy. What can we expect out of the gastronomy tourism area come this year?
Well, definitely, you know, we have launched our Taste Jamaica website and app, and we're going to continue to partner with other persons in terms of raising our food festivals to the next level. We'll be looking at opening up other gastronomy centers, as we had Devon House as our first across the island. So it's an ongoing project, but most importantly, it's education, letting Jamaicans understand the wide length and breadth of gastronomy tourism and how they can capitalize on that using indigenous Jamaican products and making really good tourism experiences, not only for overseas visitors, but for locals who are here on the island. Because, you know, you're still a tourist if you move from one area of the island. So we want to make sure that everybody experiences everything fantastic about our cuisine at all levels, and to excite persons to create new and different and exciting Jamaican products.
I'm now joined by a coffee farmer, Mr. Mervyn Hibbert. Talk to me about the festival today. What has it been like?
It has been a great festival. Owing to the fact that I am a small coffee farmer, and what I see today is great, and I believe that more farmers should have been here, and more Jamaicans should be here to witness this festival of our own Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee. I also view that a lot of visitors was here, and I see they are all full joy themselves. Everything today was great, and I'm looking forward to it for next year.
Is there anything that you think the government can do to enhance the festival come next year?
Well, what I think the government should do, they should put a bigger input in it, okay? And to help to do something to help we the struggling farmers based on what is reached us as coffee farmers now. Because, you know, our venture is very expensive, okay? So if we can get some reduction like in farm tools, fertilizers and things like those, it will be great, it will be helpful for us at this time.
Hypro being here today, maybe many folks may want, you know, Hypro at a coffee seminar. Everybody know Hypro to be a company that sells feed and chicken. But you know, over the years, Hypro has integrated the operations, and we now have an agronomy department at Hypro, where we sell a wide cross-section of pesticides, meaning fungicides and insecticides, fertilizers for the coffee industry.
What do you think about the festival? What are your thoughts?
Well, I mean, for the first time, I mean, it's a great show. I mean, we get to interact with some of the stakeholders. You know, we can showcase our products that we have at Hypro to control some of the major problem in the coffee industry.
I like festivals, and I've been to festivals in other countries, and it's world class. I like the quality, I like what I'm seeing, and I have a bit of love for coffee, so it's good to come and have experienced so many different coffee products. And there are also other things, so it's really good. I'm enjoying it.
Chris, talk to me a little bit about your experience so far.
Oh, it's been wonderful so far to be able to come up to the Blue Mountains and experience where the real coffee comes from in Jamaica. The people and all the events and stalls that have been held are pretty good.
You have a drink in your hand there. Where is that drink from?
Right there, sir. Island Blue coffee.
How is that?
Pretty damn good.
All right, thanks, Chris. I appreciate it.
Appreciate your time, man.
It is truly a weekend of Epicurean excellence right here at the inaugural Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Festival, and I'm now joined by a few friends. Talk to me about the experience so far.
Oh, it's a great initiative
although we live in Jamaica, we don't get to drink Blue Mountain coffee, and we are all from Japan, and Blue Mountain coffee is very famous there. So yes, we've always wanted to try.
What are you looking forward to?
Trying the local delicacy and different types of coffee. Yes, of this very beautiful location.
We're still here at the inaugural Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Festival, and we have much more for you coming up right after this break. Stay with us.
Hey guys, I'm Candy and welcome to Chill Spot, Jamaica's ultimate leisure show. This season promises to reveal some of the hidden treasures of the lifestyle industry by taking you to the chill spots of some of Jamaica's most brilliant business minds, giving you a glimpse into how they choose to unwind and just hold a vibe. You won't want to miss what happens next. Stay tuned.
What has the feedback been like from some of the patrons here today?
Oh, it's been amazing. As a matter of fact, I was just walking through the marketplace and, everyone is having such a great time. They didn't expect this this evening. They're enjoying Taurus Riley. They've enjoyed the performances, the dancers from Dance Theatre Expressions. They enjoyed Charlestown Maroons. The food, the energy, the atmosphere. It's amazing.
What did the Tourism Linkages Network hope to take away from this festival today?
We have 36 booths, everything, coffee related, coffee infused, and coffee. Our mandate is to connect local suppliers of goods and services with the tourism industry, to introduce them to that expansive value chain that is tourism. And so with an event like this, we're working with the stakeholders in the Blue Mountains. We're working with, I'm sure you saw the signs coming up, the culinary trail. So we're working with the restaurants for that culinary experience. We're working with coffee farmers as well, so that they understand that their contribution to the coffee industry is more than just producing the beans. You understand? So essentially, we are trying to deepen our linkages on the agriculture side by working with farmers and also working with the businesses to create a wholesome, fulsome experience that locals and visitors alike can enjoy.
And what can we expect from the Blue Mountain Coffee Festival 2019?
Oh gosh, bigger and better. Of course, we want to continue to strengthen our partnerships with JDF, with Ministry of Industry, Commerce, Agriculture and Fisheries, RADA, JCRA. We want to work with all the coffee producers, the Cafe Blues, coffee traders, Cannonballs, Starbucks. We want to work with all of them, big and small, and just work to make the industry even better for all the players.
Cannonball Cafe is one of the actually first cafes in the Jamaica industry. We have been in business for over 14 years. We offer a wide range of products from the most outstanding and delectable breakfasts to soups, sandwich, salads, lasagnas, crab backs, and of course, the unbelievable Jamaican Blue Mountain coffee. Because without that, there is nothing else to be had.
Talk to me about how the festival here might boost your brand at Cannonball Cafe.
Well, it's definitely going to help us because anything that we can do to raise the awareness of our Blue Mountain coffee can only benefit us. And we are so intrinsically steeped with our coffee culture here, and we want to get out to everybody in Jamaica how fabulous our coffee is, and the world actually, and what we can do and how talented we are with our coffee as well as all of our baked goods. It can only help us. It's a win-win for everybody.
What do you think about the state's idea to move out of the traditional drink-like use of the Blue Mountain coffee?
Well, we're already doing that because we have it infused in our bread pudding. We have what we call a mini puff of heaven, which is an eclair with some coffee-infused French cream. We do coffee-infused brownies with a glacé sauce all over it. So we have a wide assortment. It's not just for drinking, but it's also for eating and consuming. Chocolate-covered coffee beans, you name it, we got it.
I'm here with Russ Jeremiah from the company Natural by Nature. Talk to me a little bit about your business here and what's going on.
Yeah, we have some coffee product infusion with coffee fried dumpling, coffee bame. We have coffee rice and peas, roast fish.
Well, let me ask you, this is the inaugural Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Festival. What do you think about it? What are your thoughts?
Up, thumbs up. 100% out of 100, yeah. And we have to keep on doing such cultural thing like this because Jamaica is a cultural island. We're full of culture, we're full of talent, so put it on.
Talk to me about your experience here today.
It's been fabulous. We as a social enterprise, our goal is to employ deaf people throughout the island. So we're excited today. Our baristas are working in 3 different tents with different partners. We're here today with Country Traders, which their brand is Coffee Roasters brand. We're also at Cannonball and Toyota with David Twyman's Coffee. So it's been great crowds. It's been a steady flow throughout the day, and I feel really good and excited for what next year holds.
How do you think the festival is helping to boost the local coffee industry in Jamaica?
Yeah, it's got to be positive because a lot of times people don't know how diverse coffee can be, how it can be used. So as they come here and see it on Copperwood port, as a rub, or they see it as a pour over, they see it as espresso, they're going to see a barista competition later. It's just going to raise everybody's awareness and understanding of coffee.
How do you think the festival here will help to boost brand Cafe Blue?
That's a good question. I think it's not only about Cafe Blue. I think it's about Blue Mountain Coffee in general. From the fact that we are coffee farmers and we have actually utilized the product in another way, in many other ways, to develop byproducts. As you can see, our chocolate-covered beans, our chocolate-infused coffee, and our coffee that we distribute all over. I think it's for everybody. I think this is a push Jamaica, not just about us as a brand as Cafe Blue. I think, of course, it will add to what we do, but listen, we're all about everybody. That is brand Jamaica in general.
So talk to me about how you at Cafe Blue engage Jamaican farmers.
On the Cafe Blue side, we don't actually have direct contact with the farmers per se. It's more Coffee Traders, which is our mother company. That is the farming aspect of where we come from and where we were birthed out of, our brand. And what we do is we actually provide seminars for them. We actually have contacts that work with us directly that basically ensure that farmers at all times are managing their costs, which is most important, especially for them to reap the benefits of making sure that the coffee is sold at the best price, and also for them to be successful. All right, that is important. So we make sure that we educate them, which is the most important thing, and that we show them the techniques, we share with them, we make sure that they're involved in all aspects of the farming.
Third place is Toyota and Cannonball! Woo! In second place, my people, my coffee lovers. Scoring, where are my points? 105 points. It goes to the man that made my lips feel good with that almond on the rim of the cup. Def Kid! Competition winner is Coffee Blue at 108 points.
That's it from us here at the inaugural Jamaica Blue Mountain Coffee Festival. Until next time, I've been your host, Andrew Laidley, and thanks for tuning in to Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Yeah.
it's Novia MacDonald-White, Senior Associate Editor at the Jamaica Observer. And guess what? You are watching Business Access Television.
Hi, I'm Tanya Powell-Edwards. I'm the CEO of Tanya's Body Care. This really came about because I was searching for an option for my deodorant that was really messing up my cotton shirts at the time. And when I was washing, I just couldn't get the stains out completely. So I decided to do a internet research, and while I was researching, I came upon something that says, why not make your own? I was like, that's crazy, who makes their own deodorant? And almost as I thought that, something said, but why not try? I looked at the ingredients and saw that everything that was on the list were actually items that I had in the kitchen. I was like, okay. So I jumped out of the bed, this was like 5 o'clock in the morning, got out of bed, started mixing, and I spent the rest of the day walking around the house with my husband and children saying, smell this, smell that, smell that. And at the end of the day, we were pleasantly surprised that it worked. Now, anybody that knows me know that I am, once I learn something new and it's stimulating for me, I'm going to share it with the world. So as I got to work, got to church, anybody that would listen to me, I was sharing with them about this, and I guess they saw the passion. So people started saying, I want to try, I want to try. And that's how the business was born, because if I'm going to be buying stuff to make things for people, then I needed to recover some of the cost. And so that's really how we got started. Officially, it started in September 2015. And I'd say for maybe about a year before that, I had been trying making my own deodorant, doing my own oils for my skin and so on. So predominantly I do soaps, right? But in addition to soaps, I do oils for the skin. I do a garlic oil, and recently I added lotion, not even labeled yet, but I mean, the reviews on this lotion have been fantastic. We have a variety of soaps here, and I'm always making soaps, right? So some soaps are labeled and some don't have a label just yet. So let me introduce you to our activated charcoal soap, which is my bestseller at this time. And activated charcoal, not only do I love the color of it, this black and powerful soap, but the effects that it has on the skin is tremendous. And people always ask me, do you use your products? I only use my products when it comes to the skin. If I have a breakout, I'm gonna turn to my activated charcoal. In addition to the activated charcoal, I do a turmeric soap, which is not here today. And then of course I do a lemongrass soap. Here we have bentonite clay, which is also a cleanser for the skin. And then if you want a scrub, then we have what I call exfoliate coffee scrub. And then I do other things like nutmeg. Did you know that nutmeg really has great benefits for the skin? I am also proud of the fact that I create what we call the boss, right? Now, if you think about a turmeric soap or an activated charcoal or bentonite clay, which have similar properties, the boss is the king and queen all in one of the soaps. So this beautiful soap here has your turmeric on top, and turmeric is not only a craze, it actually works. And then we have our cinnamon, which is another spice here. But to top it all off, we have some frankincense in there. Now, everybody knows about the benefits of frankincense from the Bible coming straight up. And then I do about 3 oils, but I have only one today, and this is our Jamaican ginger with lemongrass. I cater to persons who are interested in taking better care of themselves. So anyone can buy my product, but not everyone appreciates the product. So it's for persons who, you work hard, you get home, you're tired, and you need to do something for you. We're actually self-funded at this time. We have had some help from JBDC in terms of, I would say, mentorship and advice. They've been very helpful with that. We've had mentorship from Sisters Inc., Opal Levy and Associates, very grateful for that as well. And just a couple months ago, we were able to get vouchers for technical assistance from DBJ, which has assisted in some testing at the Bureau of Standards, as well as some additional training, short course training at UTech. But outside of those, it is replowing what we earn back into the business to try and get it to grow. So I actually started with like 2,000 Jamaican dollars out of my salary 1 month in. And when we made that back with an additional, with some profits, then it almost became intoxicating. So I make it, I buy more, I do more, So the money came from salary and has been, I would say the business is basically self-funding to this point, though now we're going to have to look seriously at expanding and probably getting additional assistance to be able to do so. So I operate from home. Currently setting up an internet business so that I can make money while I sleep. And then we're in a couple locations. So we are growing. Earth Elements, we're in one store in Manchester so far, one in Clarendon, Spanish Town, a couple in Kingston. And of course, the idea is to get across the island, but we're proud of what we've been able to achieve in the time that we've been in the space. Production, I mainly do alone right now. My family clicks in different ways. So my son is the media person, he's into photography, so he'll take the pictures of the products. My daughter is the marketer when we get to a location, a trade fair, so she'll say, "Mommy, I have this." My husband gets involved in the trade fair as well, but he's also very handy. So if I were to show you my soap boxes, which sometimes sell online for like $300 US in some cases, he actually goes to the hardware and buys the material and makes these for me. So everybody chips in different ways, and I am hoping that I am going to be able to grow the business to the point where this will become a legacy for our children. We have a culture of ensuring that everything that we do is quality. That's a guarantee that we have. We don't want anybody to, buy a soap and it doesn't do what we promise. So we want to keep our promise to our users. A typical day now could be that I wake up in the morning and try to, center myself, do my things to do, or the things that I'd like to accomplish. Sometimes try to find new markets or to go have a meeting with one of my mentors, because sometimes when you're growing, you don't know what the next move is, even if you have a growth plan. So you want to go with your mentor, see what's happening. So it could be delivering products, meeting with mentors, making products, or making decisions about whether I go deliver to Mandeville or how I get it done. It is an incredible journey of ups and downs, enjoyments and frustration, and for me sometimes amazement and bewilderment. So it's not boring at all, it's more challenging. It's like, okay, so I have this, and on a day when I'm thinking, I don't think I can bother with this, it's too much work or it's too frustrating, the phone will ring. Somebody will say, I got your soaps last year. It has done wonders for me. Where can I get this? And I've had many of those calls. The days when you get frustrating, you realize that you're making a mark. People have now begun to depend on you for the items that you have. And so it says, hello, you can't jump out of this race just yet because there are people depending on you. And it's a good feeling. So it has been an incredible journey. Don't know what lies ahead, but I'm hoping that it's going to be huge, that I'll be able to scale up and to become truly island-wide and international as well.
Management Accounting Services. Keeping track of business performance is the key to driving future business performance. Having sound, up-to-date, and regular financial reports will ensure you are making well-informed business decisions in relation to matters such as capital expenditure, cost reductions, where future sales growth needs monitoring or driving, under or well-performing staff, or when is the right time to take on new staff. Dodge & Global can help you to prepare interim financial reports and therefore better advise you as to your future tax payments to prevent any surprises at year-end and to smooth out your tax obligations, saving you money. We will have discussions with you regarding the results of these reports and make sure you are aware of any pitfalls or areas that need your attention on a more regular basis. Our team can help you make smarter, more effective decisions. Let's have a conversation. Contact us at email info@dodgen.global, website https://dodgen.global.
The Good Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.
So what sets me apart is this. One, it's natural. If it's not natural, I'm going to tell you. So you have a choice. Two, it's going to likely to be very Jamaican in terms of the ingredients and so on. Whatever I say the soap does, it will do. And also that people tell us even more than what we tell them. People call back and say, this has removed a blemish, this has done so and so. One of the things that I'm very careful of is making huge statements about what it's going to do for you. My own strategy is trust me enough, use it, you're going to call me and tell me what it has done for you. I mean, I can tell you what cinnamon does for the skin and so on, but it is such a great feeling that people call me and they actually tell me things that make me go, huh? You know, but those are some of the things that set us apart. If it is not natural, if it's gonna harm the skin, we're not gonna use it. Not just to make money, no. I love to research. So sometimes I'll just go and say what's new in the DIY world. Secondly, sometimes I'll have a dream. Sometimes it's a conversation with people asking me, I need something for this specific thing. And so I'll go research it, because when you're talking to the individual, the problem they're trying to fix is such a bother to them. It's almost like you take on that you really want to help this person through whatever they're going through. So if I know what the skin condition is, I'm not a doctor, but I'm going to research. If the information is out there and we can find things that can help that condition, then we're going to try our best to make the product to help the person. One of the important questions that keep coming back time and time again, do you use your own products? To me, it's an amazing question. Why would I make a product and not use it? But to the customer, it's a very important question for them. They look at you, they look at your skin, they make decisions about how your own skin looks, and then they make decisions about the product. I have been to places where products are sold off just on the basis of my own skin. But the idea is that though we're in business to make money, the product must do something for you. So when I'm talking to people, it's not just about making a sale. It's about many times making a friend. I've had persons who've come to say, how can I get rid of bags under my eyes? And I'll say to them, get some rest. And in talking to them, you realize that they're going through some major things in their lives. So at that point, it's not about me selling an oil and saying, you know, use it. It's about what are you really going through in your own life? The products become secondary, you know what I mean? So it's really about caring for people. I think one of the things that you're challenged by is when you now begin to expose yourself to a wider space, you now have a lot more scrutiny. People ask you a lot more. And even sometimes people patronize you and buy a product, and they've just done it because they're at an expo, so they're not sure whether it's going to do what you really say that it, you know, they call later on and so on. Sometimes even being creative is challenging because you have to make decisions about, okay, do I do more bentonite clay or do I go do a new soap? Then acquiring funding is an issue. And then if you're like me who started business without really wanting to start a business, I'm more creative, so I find it sometimes encumbering to sit down and do the business plan. And then finally, I realized that as an entrepreneur, seeking guidance from different people, if you're not careful, you could be, you know, you could find yourself in troubled waters where what you're doing is what everybody's idea of what you should do is and not your own. So you have to grow to the point where you develop some amount of confidence in what you have to offer, and then you're able now to decipher, okay, I can go there with this idea, but how do I remain true to what I want to do and what I want to offer? For soaps and oils and so, you learn how to work with your recipes because you want your product to be the same. You know, once somebody has experienced it and have decided to trust you to come again, you want that experience to continue. One of the other things that I do is I encourage people to call me. And that's good and bad because you can be found. You're not far away, right? But I say to people, call me. Call me, tell me when it's good. And even though it may be painful, tell me if it's bad and how it has affected you, and then I'm going to do make good. One of the things that we're looking at is I'm continuing to work firstly with my mentors. We've looked at our target market. We've looked at how many soaps can I produce per month. What are some of the equipment that is needed for that, where we need to operate from, because of course, home is a private space. There are times when people want to come and take a look at things, it's not convenient. So we have a growth strategy that will see us moving from home, probably going into the center of the island. And also that we have interest from persons overseas, Jamaicans overseas, who are into natural care, and now we have to look at how do we grow to be able to fulfill that demand as well. Right now what we have are persons buying from Jamaica and taking back to their relatives, but we now have persons calling us and saying, how can we get a second or third bottle? So part of the growth strategy is also being able to fulfill those international demands. Social media is powerful, right? So we have an IG account, we're on that every day. We love IG. Or a Facebook account. We recently started a YouTube channel. We give away products sometimes for various events. We've done small sponsorships as well. We have been involved in different expos. And of course, sometimes like a SRC, Scientific Research Council, through which I got a lot of this training, sometimes they'll invite us to events. And as much as we can, we don't say no. So those things get us out there, get us meeting people. And people are now getting used to our branding and seeing us and saying, hey, I use that product. I'm actually meeting people who go, oh, I use your activated charcoal, so you're so-and-so. So we're small, but we're growing, and people are learning about us and trusting us as well. I'm not sure if there is a pattern, and I'm sure there may be a formula, whether it is that it moves exactly as others say it does. I think it's kind of different for everybody. I think some people are born with that natural entrepreneurial spirit to succeed. I think there's no one formula. It may work different for everybody, but I think it's also important to listen to other people's stories. I think that if it makes you happy and you're achieving and you're impacting other people in a positive way, that is success. My greatest fear is someone being harmed by my products, and so therefore I make sure that I spend extra time to ensure that doesn't happen. My greatest fear is not growing to the point where I can expand and hire. But can I tell you that just recently something came to me, and it said, and I think it's the voice of God, and it said, your faith is bigger than your fear. And so in the last week or two, I have been repeating that to myself, sharing it with other people, and just always saying, when the fear comes, my faith is bigger than my fear. So I'm not fearing not achieving, I'm not fearing failure so much, because my faith is bigger than my fear.
Stay current and gain more information on the ever-evolving industry of real estate on Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
I think knowledge motivates me. Learning new things and being stimulated by it, and then wanting to go out, and wherever the person is, as long as they have 2 ears and they're willing to listen, I just want to give it back to them. My faith stimulates me as well. Church, God, family, it's a lot of different people that are really there who have inspired me. Meeting people and listening to them and sharing what I think I have to help them, and then they calling me back to say, what you said is what has happened. In our Jamaican economy and growing up with parents who were poor, there have been many times when I have gotten frustrated, cried, want to give up, said, this don't make sense. But somehow it's like I was born with something that makes me give up for 2 seconds, and then I have to get up and go again. Doing this and doing it with my family, because family is important, and I wouldn't be able to do without them. And knowing that they trust me to make these things, and it's rewarding because when people have high expectations for you, it causes you to grow. To become successful, to travel the world, to speak to thousands of people all over, to share with them my struggles, my journey, how I made it, and to be able to say to people that, you know, wherever you are in life, whatever you've been through, once you begin to look at yourself and deal with yourself, find your passion, then you can make it. I have to also say that I am huge on getting degrees because education is important, but I really, really believe that in addition to that, you must have a skill. And those are the messages that I want to share with people, both locally and internationally. So my advice to young entrepreneurs or persons who want to start their own business is first research. Make a product. If it's a product that you want to do, a soap for example, make it for yourself first. Make it for your family. You have to give away some stuff as well so you can get the necessary feedback. Use Google. Look at whatever it is that you want to do. There probably is a video out there on how it's done and also the business aspect of it. Then you have to take that from your private space, which is your home and family, and test it with some friends in a wider space and keep recording that feedback. And enjoy the positive feedback, but when it's not so good, don't get angry. Listen to what people are saying because they are probably giving you the cues that you're going to need to make your product even better. If you believe that you have an idea and you believe it can work, don't keep it to yourself. Share it with others and just try. Just try. A lot of businesses fail many times before people meet success. And now in Jamaica, because of the economic situation, we're afraid of failure. But come on, think about, you know what they say about the grave, the cemetery being that place with so many people with talent who never try. You're not gonna forgive yourself if you don't try. So get out there, test your idea with your family, friends, your community, and get into doing what you really want to do. Go for it.
I do have a dream, and I know you have a dream, that we can make Jamaica the place of choice for you to choose to live, to work, to do business.
We are going for the Jamaica we want. Making steady progress to achieve the Sustainable Development Goals in our National Development Plan, Vision 2030 Jamaica. We have teamed up with valued partners, working through strong institutions to reduce inequalities in our society. We commit to being responsible in our production and consumption, ensuring we build sustainable communities in harmony with nature. Jamaica is making significant strides in providing quality, lifelong education for all, enabling our people to be engaged in decent work to drive economic growth, equipping men and women with the skills to build resilient infrastructure, promote sustainable industry, foster innovation, and utilize new technologies. Urgent action is being taken to manage natural resources responsibly, protecting clean water sources, ensuring access to water and sanitation for all, diversifying to alternative energy sources, conserving our environment and sustaining life below water and on land. Jamaica is making moves to ensure healthy lifestyles for the well-being of our people. We're promoting sustainable agriculture to achieve food security, improve nutrition, and end extreme hunger, putting in the work to end poverty in all its forms. We're on track in achieving our Sustainable Development Goals through realizing our Vision 2030 Jamaica. We will leave no one behind.
And I'm chilling right now, 'cause we're winning right now.
respect to the crowd. Kind of some crowd. Hey, ring me alarm, and I'll sunshine. Oh, hey.
They have been a staple in Jamaican music culture since the 1950s. With dub plates and voiceless rhythms. As Jamaican music evolved, so did the selectors. Stay tuned to Cameo this week. Davis, aka Super Hype, is a selector, producer, TV host, and a founding member of Uptown 007 Records. He tells us about his start in music.
Honestly, being in high school, I used to love music. I used to listen to Pure Stone Love and Travelers and Renaissance. Them time the cassette run the thing, you know. So we used to love my cassette them. I used to listen to them hard. And I used to love Shabba Ranks and Maxi Priest. Like, that's one song I used to go home every day and listen to. And it was just that excitement about music and wanting to play music. And then eventually, you know, Dan Youth was playing with Sean Paul at the time. Sean Paul never bust it. They were carrying me to the studio. So I was playing with Dan Youth and Sean Paul. Actually, Sean Paul gave him my first dub plate. So I have to big up Sean Paul because he's the one that started me in this thing. I got my first dub plate from Sean Paul and War 21. You understand? I really started doing like, you know, playing at some little school things like what you call it, fun day, sports day. I used to be the little man that warm up the sound, carry the box them. That's where I started, you know? So I started from scratch.
Attitude, girl. One of them, two of them.
Selecting helped me to do one of the biggest rhythms in dancehall. To this date, I don't see nobody tap it. Dirty Wine. I produce that track. It's the #1 track in every continent when it busts. That has not happened since. I mean, artists bust since that and go hard and get how much Grammy and this and that, but them no lock down every continent. Me a matter and do it. I'm running the business. Oh my goodness, the promoters that don't like to pay. The people that feel that just because them know you, you owe them a favor. You know, it's really hard. Like, people don't think about you as a person. Like, they don't think about you and they don't think about the fact that, okay, Super got 2 daughters, he has a family. If Super is running a studio, hey, who pays the light bill? Who pays the water? Who takes care of the yard? You know, things like that. Like, people think that things just happen magically, you know, and that's crazy.
Stephen Marley, let them know what time it is. We came to the party. We came
All right, you will have people like, you will have a booking, a man will call the promoter and say, look here, if Super charge 30 or Super charge 50, look here, me do it for 40. You understand? You have some people that are just wicked out there. And then another thing is, some promoters will call you to come somewhere and they'll give you a deposit, and then you will go somewhere, and then like you get there, can't find the promoter. Dancer go on, dance turn up, promoters nowhere to be found. You know, it's crazy. Like, you have to protect yourself as a selector. You have to get people to sign stuff so that when they mess up, you can take them to court. And then it's so tricky because this is Jamaica. Like, you don't know who's crazy. And then you have selectors that try to diss you or try to style you because you're getting more dates than them, or your name calling harder than them. So, you know, they try to fight you. They try to do all kind of things. There's so many challenges when it comes to music. I mean, even as a selector, the hardest challenge is pleasing that dancehall crowd. Because you'll be juggling, and 10 artists in the party, you will try to play maybe 3 or 4 or 5 of them. You see the other 5, them are pray you. The other 5 artists, them are watch you. Them have you up. Them hate you. You understand? Even though you're playing their mind, I say, all right, may I turn up for them thing next week, because you can't play the same way every week, you know, or every night. You have to change up the thing. So sometimes we say, all right, we'll endorse this man tonight, and then tomorrow night we turn up that man thing. But it's weird, because you're gonna help somebody tonight, and then just by helping that person, the next man preen you, like, yo, how we my rampage? When we play that song, then I play my song. So that's another tricky thing as being a selector too, you understand? You would try to help everybody, and then one person don't get the help, and it's like the whole world want to come down on you. So you have to have a head on your body. You know what I mean? You have to have a strong mind to be a selector also. These people are coming to Jamaica because Jamaica is a hub. So they want a feel of the reggae, they want to feel the dancehall, they want to be right there where it is. And you know, instead of burn them out and say, yo, what am I do? Come take with dancehall, what am I do? Take with reggae. Instead of burn them out, work with them. Unity is strength. Because just by them coming here is a big strength to dancehall. What I'm encouraging selectors out there to do is like, do your homework, bro. Like me, for the rest of my life, I'll be forever collecting music. Even if it's old or new, I will be forever collecting music because you can never have too much. You never know. You know what I mean? Like, especially old music. I collect old music every day. Like, I collect vintage music because sometimes you don't know if somebody going to give you some vintage songs and the quality better than yours. You understand? And it's not about the money. There are a lot of the times you have to sacrifice and play for free too. You understand? Even corporate people, I will give free dates sometime because you have to do it. You have to think about the long run, bro. It's not just right here, right now. Like I do ads for a living as well and jingles. And a lot of sounds and selectors, even people come to me, promoters, and they will come to me 10 times. And you see, even maybe the 5th time or the 10th time, I do it free. Because I'm trying to tell you thank you for your business. You pick up, enough people not do that in a dance hall. For you come to them, if you don't have your money, hello, leave. That's how them things set. If you don't have the money, go. Nothing wrong with wanting money, but why you have to do your thing on a level, bro. I'm working with VP and Greensleeves. I'm signed to them as a producer for 3 years. So they deal with all my royalty and everything, and they're doing a good job. So big up VP Greensleeves, they're taking good care of me. They also put out my track, Dirty Wine. So, you know, that's a big move right there. They also put out some other rhythms for me. I have a track with Idonia that they just put out called Ball of Fire. You don't know, big things going on right now. And I just put out a new rhythm called UFO Miles with Chi-Ching Ching. I've had several hits with Chi-Ching Ching. Also, Egyptian, I've had some songs with him as well. Munga, Turn Up the Bass. Some other little things. I've been successful in the business. I cannot complain, I have to give thanks. I mean, if I don't have any passion to play music, like what's the point? I'm the type of selector, I'm not going to take a play out if I don't want to play there. Like, it don't make sense I go somewhere with that mind frame saying, yo, I don't like that place, yo, I'm not in the mood for play, yo, I don't want to go nowhere, but you're going to take the people their money, and you're going to go play. And you're going to be there miserable, everything going to come out in your music, bro. Everything going to come out in your craft. So, you know what I mean, stay true to the game. If you're a real selector, you get the crowd hype when you want. You keep the crowd quiet when you want. You keep them drinking and chatting and when you want them turn up, you turn them up. And you get them turn up. It's called crowd control. You understand? It's called commanding the crowd. You understand? Enough of them now have that. Them just have play music because them know them get paid tonight.
Creativity is something that has to come with time, because what you have to master is reading a crowd.
You can't please your shareholders before pleasing your customers and pleasing the staff. All three are very important.
This week on Business Access.
The reality is that any city that is going to grow and going to develop, you can't have the same old-looking buildings. The reality is that you have to be modern. You have to modernize to draw attention, to draw investors into the country and so on.
Chromatic, the ultimate.
Creep Chromatic founded Chromatic Sound back in Portmore in 2005 with Nico Chromatic. Today, Chromatic Sound has grown not only in members, but with more fans and playouts worldwide.
I got started in 2005 professionally. It was a case where I got a DJ software from a next door neighbor of mine, and then I started messing around with it. I did a couple remixes, a couple mixtapes, and I started to get some good feedback, like within where I was from, which is Portmore, Jamaica, and started to give it out to a couple taxis and buses. Friends encouraged me to make another one, kept doing that, started picking up, and then it just turned into a career somewhere along the lines of early 05. Late 2006.
Never see a youth rise, but a action I do it while them a use nice. Play with the cars, other to the two wise. If my head hurt me, you know everything rise. We no kill champion, we build champion. We no kill champion, we build champion.
Selector is just a terminology basically implying that it's the person that selects the music. Chromatic is a sound system, so we work with a duo of a DJ and an MC. So the selector, so to speak, would be the DJ who selects the music, works with the crowd, tries to figure out what the people want and give that to them, while the MC is the person introducing the songs and making speeches, coordinating with the music and hyping up the crowd. Creativity is something that has to come with time, because what you have to master is reading a crowd, standing in front of a crowd of people and trying to figure out what they want based on the type of people, the majority of the type of people who there's more men, more women, the type of people, stuff I can't really explain, but it's something that comes with time. So once you get that, that's the main thing. I mean, music drops every day, it's just how you use it. Every time I play in front of a crowd at an event is a freestyle, like that's off the top. That's why I refer to being able to read a crowd, because before you stand in front of that crowd, there's no way you can be at home getting ready and knowing what you want, which song you're going to start with. You have to be there in the moment, you choose that song, and then you build a whole 1 hour, 2 hour set off of that start within itself. A mixtape is something that's pre-recorded, like that can be done at home or in a studio or wherever. That's more marketing, a DJ or a sound. That's something that you'll have on a CD or on your website or whatever to give out to people so they can listen in the cars or whatever. That's more promotion, but that's a whole different ball game from what you do in a party. That's an actual freestyle. I feel like anybody within any aspect of entertainment can branch out into any other one, and there's many of them. There's the typical selector turning into a producer, or keeping events, or manager artists, or you get me? It's basically one thing. I also keep events. I have a studio here. I can do any form of music from that platform. Anything really. You have to create your own opportunities. I try to find different ways to market the group. So that's like with video blogs or just with any new platform on the internet or anything that's trendy. I try to do different things to market myself. Biggest successes to date for Chromatic, I would say there were many, like every couple of years there's one that brings us to a new level. I'd say 05, obviously the mixtape that brought us onto the scene, that would be a mark. In 2010 I dropped a mixtape, that was the last mixtape I did with Vibes Cartel. That brought us to another level. 2012 I did a mixtape with Popcorn, that's how I got to link with OVO and Drake, them. That was another level. Like every year after that we win some kind of award or do something big relatively, or big for a sound system. You get me? Lately, we just won 2 more YV awards. Just got a bass. Anything else would just be personal stuff. But as far as Chromatic, it's mostly the awards and just a constant accumulation of new fans over the years. Like, it's always growing. And this year we'll be doing our first Chromatic event.
We're here, we got Chromatic for holding it down for us. Just played for Kingston, all the kids, it was wild. We had popcorn, we had products. It was madness.
Major challenges to a selector or DJ, I think we're not currently facing any now just because we got ourselves into this comfortable zone where like we're one of the most sought after groups to book. But I mean, for upcoming DJs, it's just like the politics and favoritism type of thing, and like you have to face the fact that there's no promoter that's just willing to take a risk and work with a new DJ or a new name for any particular reason, unless one of the ones who are run the place stop run the place, and me not plan for that, so I don't have any problems right now still, thank God. Challenges from a business side, I mean, it's kind of the same answer still. No people gonna really be willing to pay anything worth your while until you prove yourself, and that's a long process to prove yourself in the entertainment business, to other entertainers, to promoters, and just to build a brand is not an easy thing. It's not nothing you can go around. You have to do the time and get past the level where people are trying to ball down your price and them things. Like honestly, it's maybe just a buck-ups thing, but I just do what I like. Fortunately, like my image and things I like and things, the way I dress or present myself is appealing to the youths always at any given time. I don't really like pay attention to any trends and try for adjust to that. I just being me all the while, anything I do or wear or say. So only thing I'll change is just platforms that as I said earlier, I use to market the sound, and like Instagram around the place, so I'm gonna make sure I use Instagram as the first place, so I might drop a mixtape or whatever, Snapchat, etc, etc, etc. But as far as the core, we've been like the same from day one, like in terms of image and presentation. We were always a duo from 05 up till I'd say 2013, 14, which is when we expanded to like 4 and then 5 and then 6. Currently we have 6 members, looking to take on a couple more soon because of the workload, and that's simply because of that. The workload and the demand, trying to supply the demand with 2 people wasn't really working out, so we saw where it was necessary and we made the moves. Wherever we go is normally a Jamaican crowd in another place, in another country, so to speak. Lately we've been tapping into different markets. I don't know why. I guess it's just the attention that the brand has been getting, or the affiliation with certain more international brands like OVO and Unruly, etc. So I haven't been doing anything personally to branch over into markets. It's just, I guess, Jamaica, the more attention Jamaica gets, the more it benefits Jamaican entertainers. We're launching our website, that's the name of it, Chromatic Live. We're launching our merchandise, this is the name of it, Chromatic Live. We have new members recruiting this year, we have mixtapes, many of them dropping, we have more awards for win. We have this is the office/studio. We have more video vlogs coming out, Fast Life series, we have enough things.
Well, my parents are musicians. My mom is a singer. She did First Cuttings and Deepest, straight out there. My father is the former manager for Bob Marley. So like, I come from a musical background. And
Dodge & Global Marketing Strategy Consulting. Marketing isn't a department, it's a system. Having an integrated and cohesive marketing plan allows each marketing technique to support the others, thereby creating a synergy of branding and growth for your business. Dodge & Global can assist you in making smart decisions with lasting value in regard to the following key decisions. Determine if there is a paying market for your products and services. Craft long-term and short-term marketing goals. Define marketing campaigns. Create marketing strategies. Select powerful marketing techniques to reach your audience. Choose a brand and image that reflects your core message. Design marketing materials. Design internet marketing strategies. Track marketing results to determine the strongest techniques. Because it's so important to create an integrated marketing strategy that will bring in business, get advice and mentoring from people who are already successful marketing experts. Our team can help you make smarter, more effective decisions. Let's have a conversation. Contact us at email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
DJ Naz's love for music started with her family. Her mom a songstress, and her dad an artiste manager. The Clash selector tells us all about her start.
Well, my parents are musicians. My mom is a singer. She did First Cuttings in the Deepest, straight out there. My father is the former manager for Bob Marley. So like I come from a musical background, and then I always wanted to be an engineer. From back in the day when I go to school, you know, we hear Missy Elliott, the Busta Rhymes, we beat the bench, we keep the concerts. I'm like, yo, I just want to make beats. And then one day, one of my friends come to me and say, Naz, like, oh, you study the engineering, you can't come be with engineer upon the sound and thing. And I say, all right, that sound good. It was an all-female sound from Meadowbrook with Juba and Spliffy and Tabia and a bunch of girls. I joined to be the engineer, and then they came to me and said, Naz, why you not just be one of the mic girls? And I'm like, well, I can't talk. And they would say, yeah, man, you will get there. I'm saying, all right then, but every time we go rehearsal, we usually link up and have that kind of thing. But I just find myself a mix, and mixing was so easy. I love count the bars and do the crossovers and everything. And I remember one day we were with this guy named Kevin that used to work at Asylum, trying to mix a rhythm, and they couldn't get it. And I was like, it's just like this 1, 2, 3 song. I think that rhythm, I don't remember the name, but Ding Dong have a song on it named Killer Swing. So it start with Killer Swing, it was a bam, 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 Killer Swing, and them couldn't catch it. And I say, yo, that easy, just count them. I couldn't understand how me find it so easy and them find it so hard for just, you know? And then I said, you know what, I want to be the person who mix. Remember one night we went to a party. It was our first, well, it was my first. It was Tony Mataran girlfriend party at the time, long time. And we were there waiting on the other selectors. So now, judging me, we don't know nothing about selecting yet, you know. For no say, you got one party, you see them a play, yeah, wait patiently. That don't make no sense. Them a play out all of the hot song them. What uno gonna play when them come off? We not think about that, you know, so we just did it happy and I say, yeah, well, wait no, and when 100 selector don't play no on our time, we were like, all right, we're gonna start with. Start playing on, go up on the mic and say, hey, cause that's all I could have say. I'm gonna see the people them start walk out. For the whole night we were like, God no. Cause that hot, you know, for us as you start play. Everybody started walking out. That was like one of the worst things ever. The role of a selector is to bust an artist, to bring the music across to people so they can understand what it is. And back in the day for me, the music used to be real because people used to sing about what them experience or what happened around them. And I like know where man, well I guess now maybe them experience flossing and smoking and bad mind, because there's a lot of that. But for me, back in the day when you watch how them usually do things, that's why you have like, oh, the veteran artists them stand out, the music lasts forever. Big challenges for me right now overall is just being a female. In this business, it's really rough. You understand? And from ever since, I mean, if Heineken never give me the break, maybe it would have extra hard, I don't know. Heineken gave me the break and I'll continue on that. People, nobody can help me for reach what me reach. You understand? Me have to push myself, and being a female is one because you will go to a dance or a party, and me not this the other selector, but you have some man with us, them not good. And they'll be there playing and nobody cares. And as soon as them say, yo, we have a girl that come up next, or DJ Nas, you see the crowd just turn on and be like, all right. And I guess they're paying attention, but it kind of feel weird, you know? And it's like, for me, I always have to be proving myself over and over.
When me a perform and I do it like me should. When a gal good, a gal good, a gal good.
There's nobody here that sees your talent and say, hey, we're gonna work with that person here. You understand? And when I go overseas, it's a whole different vibe. I go Panama, I go Antigua, St. Martin, different islands, and trust me, the feedback when I get and the love and everything, it's totally different. You understand? Because people are so surprised to see a girl, or them shocked to see a girl like me, because I'm rough. You understand? So with the look, and then you're rough and actually can do the thing. For the selectors in terms of, you know, like when you have minimum wage, because I always say this, like you will, I mean, different DJs have different prices based on their value or how popular they are. But even so, we should still have a set price, you know. So all right, then you know, when you, no matter who you link, this is the basic. You understand? Because you have some promoters that want you leave your house for $5 grand. Or $3 grand, and that is not that can't even buy a headphone. What the hell? When you look at how much a piece of DJ equipment costs, when you look at how much money it takes for you to come out in the streets, plus loosely, plus people don't even, DJs, I don't even think them look deep into it where say you have to take care of your body, you lose sleep at night and you have to take vitamin, you have to eat right. It can't be just go out and wear a clean shirt and drink some liquor. It can't be that. I always think that when I go on an event, I want to get booked again. I want other people see me and book me, so I have to go really hard no matter what. And worse is how them deal with me in Jamaica. My always just say things that I just need for those always step on top of my game. And always I say I can't wait for bus outside of Jamaica, because trust me, it's always them always wait till when you're overseas and you think bus this, so then they must say, oh, a DJ that. But right now, what really make me feel happy in myself is when you go play I want dance and you drop the dub them and you drop some song and you see the reaction of the people, especially when it's different and it's bad. I am the type of person, myself motivated, I catch an eye for myself like me a smoke or drink. I can just hear a song or have an idea and make well excited.
That's it for Cameo this week. We featured 3 Jamaican selectors who are doing their part to preserve Jamaican music culture. I've been your host, Amita Prasad Webb. Life, your weekly dose of information on nutrition, wellness, and fitness. Discover ways to nurture your mind, body, and spirit.